जी, Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. I am audible to all of you. Please reply back. So we start the session. Okay, thank you very much. अच्छा जी, आज एक सेशन जो है बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है विद अगर पाकिस्तान के पर्सपेक्टिव से भी बात करें और ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव से भी बात करें, डाइवर्सिटी, इक्विटी एंड इंक्लूजन का। ठीक है। और हमने इसमें आसिया खान को इनवाइट किया है टू प्लीज फैसिलिटेट द सेशन। और आज का सेशन आपने बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट ले है, इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंट है कि हम जब ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव की बात करते हैं तो वहाँ पे भी डाइवर्सिटी, इक्विटी, ओके ग्रेट, इक्विटी और इंक्लूजन की बात की जा रही होती है, राइट। तो कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो, वही हमारा पैटर्न होगा, वही जो हमने प्रीवियस सेशन में जो आसिया के साथ किया था हमने, वही वाला पैटर्न हम यहाँ पे भी फॉलो करेंगे। ब्रेकअप रूम बनेंगे, एक्टिविटीज होंगी, आप लोगों की एंगेजमेंट होगी, आप लोगों की पार्टिसिपेशन होगी, राइट। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर बीइंग हियर विद अस एंड नाउ आई एम इनवाइटिंग आसिया खान टू प्लीज टेक द चार्ज ऑफ द सेशन एंड टू प्लीज फैसिलिटेट, राइट।
Thank you so much, Aman sir. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good evening, and I'm hoping everyone is mostly joining from Pakistan. So it's evening over there. It's really good to have myself back for CHRP 14 batch. And I believe most of you have already been familiar with my introductions and with the field that I'm from and how we worked together last time. However, I would like to, open up with a bit of introductions. So, just to get a bit of an overview of the people who were missing last time. Yes, as Sir Mansoor has already mentioned, that this topic is really important, not only from our own country's perspective, but also from the global perspective. We will be discussing all areas and all forms of it. Right now, I will quickly start off with just a minute. I have to stop sharing my screen. Okay. So we will be starting off with a small introductions for the people who were not there last time. So I think Kashmala, were you present last time? And Fasiha, if you were not, could you please, you have to introduce yourself later. So we will be coming up to that part, okay? Just give me 5 seconds. I will be sharing my screen and we will start off with our session once again. Okay, great. So I hope everyone can see the screen now. Yes, right, great. So as Sir Mansoor has already mentioned about the topic, we will be coming on that and we will be discussing in detail about the topic. But before that, let's quickly go into the key takeaways from this session. So we all know diversity, equity, and inclusion. It stands for DEI stands for this. But what exact takeaways are we going to be taking from this session today? We're going to be embracing DEI, how it leads to innovation, better decision making, and a different way of how a workplace can get stronger. Diverse teams see higher profitability, improved brand reputation, larger talent pool, and so many other things. Practical strategies on DEI makes a big difference. If we have a plain strategy and if we have a practical strategy, it's a whole new system in that strategy. So we will be discussing on that. Everyone has a role. This is also very important. It's one of my favorites that every single person who is part of the organization or the firm or any team has a certain role, and we should not avoid that. Last but not the least, HR policies must be inclusive and evolving. Right. So before we begin into our session, a quick housekeeping rules. We all know that this is for a 3-hour session. We will be having a 10-minute break for namaz at 7:30 p.m. Pakistan time. We would really request if you can keep your phones on silent or away, and you can definitely unmute yourself when it's your turn to speak on Zoom. Listen actively and show respect to others while others are speaking. I would really recommend you choose a comfortable space for yourself to get the most out of the session. But I also understand that most of you have already settled down at certain places. So good luck with wherever you're sitting. When we are giving examples about different organizations or our personal experiences, I always recommend it's better not to name tag or take names of organizations, because we don't want any bad reputation to circulate within the market. So without saying the names of the organizations, feel free to share any examples from the workplaces. And the slides of the session will be, and the recording will be shared by Sir Mansoor and the Tilty team later after the session. In case of any urgent happenings, please write it to us in the chat and we will take care of that. Right, now I'll just quickly go through over my introduction, although we have done that last time, but just in case if there's someone new joining in the session, I would really like them to know who their facilitator is and why am I here today. So how best things you can acquire from myself. So sorry, I have over 12 years of experience in corporation organizations, and in all these corporate organizations I've been working for human resources development, HRM, training and development, quality assurance, project management, and all the functions that we deal with in HR. I've been part of that. Most of my work has been in professional development training and recruitment selection. And other than that, I've done the performance appraisals, all those aspects that are related to the HRM. We can come into that later if required. Other than that, I'm also a technical writer. I started off writing when I was in that was back in 2014 when I started writing, and I really had a good sense of doing things. So I really liked jumping into writing. So from content writing, normal writing, I have moved into technical writing as well. I'm also a book author, and when I was working for different projects, I've also been working on business process re-engineering. We all know that organizations have BPR, business processes, and how we can improvise and re-engineer them. I've been part of that, and I really enjoy doing that. So improving and monitoring all those things make the organizations diverse. Last but not the least, I have been part of some diversified projects. I've been across Europe, Asia, and I've worked with people from different nationalities on different sectors. I've also been part of education and academia. I've been part of some diplomatic community, and there have been certain projects that I've been doing for them. So it's an honor for me to be part of this batch once again for our today's session. That's from my side. If you want to join my profile, you can go ahead and join me on LinkedIn. So I will be free. Just feel free to have a discussion on anything that you want about our topic. Right, so as I discussed earlier, we had introductions from most of them last time. If there's anyone new in the room today, please feel free to unmute yourself and please tell us your name, your designation, which field or department you're working for. And if you would like to share the name of your organization, please feel free to do that. Anyone who's new today, please unmute yourself and introduce. Okay. Kashmala, can you hear me? I'm not able to recall if you were there in the session last time.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Yes, I was there, ma'am.
Okay, you were there. I'm sorry. There have been a few more sessions, so maybe the names were mixed up. Okay, anyone else? No, right, great. So that means we're all from the last time and we will be having a great team today. Okay, we'll quickly jump into our diversity definitions, because sometimes it's important to get in deeply into the crux of the words for our better understanding. So we'll quickly go through diversity. What is diversity? Okay. So we all know that we want to feel diverse in different things. Maybe it's our skill, it's our gender, it's our race, color. Yes, but how does that really represent? So represents the inclusion of diverse characters in a setting where you can see there's race, ethnicity, gender, age, religion, disability. There are broad spectrum of backgrounds from where people are. The different sexual orientation, the different experiences, the different backgrounds that people are coming from. So when we put them all together, we are talking about diversity. Now, what's equity? Equity is ensuring fair treatment. Now, if there were 10 participants last time, and let's say there are 12 today, it is my responsibility to give everyone a chance. So I open the door and I open the window for the ones who are new to the session today, and I quickly ask them to introduce themselves, because I have to be fair with everyone, right? So I believe there are some people new and they must be introducing themselves in the session today. So naturally, that is something that I feel like that is a fair treatment from my side for all of you. Just a small example. So ensuring fair treatment, access and opportunities for all individuals by recognizing and addressing historical and systematic barriers. So if there's any obstacle, any hindrance, it is the organization who has to address it and be able to give them an equal opportunity. Inclusion, that ensures that all individuals, they're able to fully participate in the workplace regardless of their difference, no matter what gender they're from what background they're from. Inclusion means when we are including everyone in whatever project, whatever work we are doing. It's not that if we have 5 people, we involve 4 and we leave 1 behind. So inclusion means we have to involve everyone. So this is the definition for the topic that we are going to be discussing today. A quick brain teaser, like last time, we have to spot the bias, and I want all of you to participate in this. So what's the activity today? You have to identify, the activity over here is you have to identify if there is any bias or unfair assumption in the following scenario. So I will be showing you a scenario. And in that scenario, you have to identify if there's any bias or any unfair assumption in that particular situation. Now, the scenario is, can we have Zanera? Can you hear me? Could you read the scenario for us?
Yes, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum Assalam. Yes, Zanera, please go ahead and read the scenario.
A manager assumes that a younger employee will be better at using new technology than an older employee.
Very good. So a manager assumes that a younger employee will be better at using technology than an older employee. This is the situation for all of you. And what are the instructions? Is there any bias in this statement? What kind of bias might it be? What kind of biasness is it? How could this assumption affect the workplace? If you think there's any biasness, how do you think this is going to affect the workplace? Think and write your observation on a piece of paper. We will be discussing that later in our presentation. So you have 2 minutes for that. Write it down on your mobile, on a piece of paper, on your computer, wherever you feel comfortable. Okay, 1 more minute. All right, so I feel like most of you must have already thought, planned, and written some of the points. Great, so we will come back to this scenario later, and we will talk about that in our later presentations part. I have to 1 minute fix something here. Just give me 1 minute, please. Okay, and here. Please give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, great, thank you. So we will be continuing our slide where we stop. Right, so I will first of all jump into the benefits of diversity, equity, and inclusion. What is the first benefit that comes to our mind when we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion? Enhanced problem solving and innovation. Teams with diverse perspectives generate more creative solutions and make better decisions. We can naturally understand that if we are choosing people from different perspectives, they will come out with a much more productive result, and they will be giving us much better solutions, and we will be able to make better decisions. Next benefit I would like to discuss is here, higher employee engagement and retention. How much more? Last time when we were discussing about HR automation, a lot of us were discussing about employee experience and improvement in employees' experience. Here we're talking about higher employee engagement and retention. Inclusive workplaces foster a sense of belonging, leading to greater job satisfaction and lower turnover. Increased profitability. Naturally, companies with diverse workforces are more likely to outperform their peers financially. This is another strong benefit for DEI. Larger talent pool attracts candidates from a wide range of backgrounds, increasing the chances of hiring top talent. So when we are bringing people from different perspectives, different ideas, different backgrounds, different nationalities, we're basically getting the cream from the whole talent pool. Right, improved brand reputation. I will be sharing further examples of international firms and some other companies who have experience, who have brought DEI in their everyday working strategies. Because of that, their reputation has actually improved in the market. So a good benefit about DEI is improved brand reputation. So organizations known for diversity and inclusion are more attracted to customers, partners, and prospective employees. Here, just like I was sharing, that I will be giving you examples from the market. If you're not familiar with Alibaba.com, it's basically it's world's biggest e-commerce company that is online, and it has total $248 billion. That was a record that I've taken from 2017, more than those of eBay and Amazon.com combined. So when we put eBay and Amazon together, even they haven't done that much of business as much as Alibaba has done. And the name of this person is Jack Ma. He says that according to him, women are basically the crux of his business. So the secret success is women. They took the goal of gender equality to a deep level. So Alibaba has taken this idea of gender equality very seriously. So what is their DEI mission? They want gender equality to be given high priority and importance. So Jack Ma, the chairman Jack Ma, describes women as the secret sauce behind Alibaba's dominance in the online shopping industry. Just like I was sharing that Alibaba is basically the biggest e-commerce industry, and their chairman believes that women are the secret sauce in their success of their online shopping industry. Over 1/3 of Alibaba's group's founders were women. Now, can you believe this? There have been so many small organizations under his leadership, and the founders of those were mostly women, and a comparable proportion currently holds senior executive positions. So the women over there are actually holding senior executive positions. Ma went so far as to claim that women's perseverance and attention to details will outperform men in age of robotics and machine learning. So he believes that the women have that strong attention to details that men cannot do it. And in the field of robotics and machine learning, women are going to rise. Another example that I have searched it out for you is L'Oreal. We all know L'Oreal, especially women know about L'Oreal. So L'Oreal, it's a Forbes top multinational performer, a beauty company that has a presence in 130 countries. L'Oreal's global initiatives sponsors disability awareness workshops in India. So they're trying to explain us over here from the examples that they've actually sponsored disability awareness workshops in a country that is India, and also pairs employees with multicultural students in Netherlands. So another country that you jump to Europe, what they do is here they pair employees with multicultural students. So when they are having interaction with students from different nationalities, naturally there is a diversity. L'Oreal also offers training to young adults in vulnerable Pakistan communities. So there are some communities in our country where L'Oreal has invested and they are offering trainings to people who are less secure, they are vulnerable, offers a robust portfolio of diversity and inclusion training for employees at all levels around the world. The company also tops the list for gender equality. Women at L'Oreal account for 69% of the workforce and 53% of key positions. So I've brought these examples for all of you because I want to show this with numbers. Like if you remember from our automation training last time, I always show numbers and references and links because this is research. It's not that I'm just saying something because I'm saying it. No. So the numbers are there that L'Oreal has this many women, so we can see how well they're doing. Okay, I want to also talk about Lenovo. We all know it's technology. Lenovo with 57,000 employees in over 60 countries. It's the world's largest PC vendor, and that has built its success on a strong foundation of diversity and inclusion. So Lenovo is one more example who has worked in diversity and inclusion. And this is Vice President of Global HR Operations and Chief Diversity Officer for technology giant Lenovo over here. In the picture you can see. Her name is Yolanda Conyers. In the words of Yolanda Conyers, serving a global customer base requires more than out-of-the-box thinking because it's not just one box, it's 100 different boxes, 1,000,000 different boxes. It takes every dimension of our diversity. So what she's trying to tell us is there are different boxes put together, get the work done. All our diverse mindsets, skills, and cultural backgrounds to deliver such a wide area of technology. So why they are such a big giant? Because she believes that Lenovo is very sensitive to this, that they need to have diversity inclusion part of their company strategies. Lenovo's very tagline is different is better. That encapsulates the essentials of two-dimensional diversity at its finest. So we understand that what she's trying to say over here is that if you're different, that's actually good, that's better. So this is what they believe in, and that's how they bring so many boxes together with so many things done together. Now, how to use diversity in organizations? Recruitment, mentorship and development, employee resources. These are the first three aspects that I have taken out for organizations, and I would like to discuss this with you. Let's say we're talking about recruitment. How do you think that we can use diversity in organization when we talk about recruitment? So when we use diverse job boards, inclusive job descriptions, and blind recruitment techniques to attract candidates from varied backgrounds. So when we talk about things where we are not looking at the picture of the candidate, when we're not looking at the nationality, when we're not looking at the color of the person, we're having a very diverse talent pool, and we are tapping different job boards, and we are calling it a blind recruitment. It's because we want to get the best from the talent pool that we have. Now, how do we do that? We do that by being diverse, by not tagging something that, okay, we want someone from UK, we want someone from Pakistan. No, we have to keep it diverse. So this is how organizations are working on recruitment when it comes to DEI. Mentorship and development. So what happens here? It offers mentorship programs and targeted internships to underrepresented groups, ensuring equal access to growth. Now, this is the thing that we need to understand over here. When we are offering mentorship, when we are offering programs that are targeted for certain internships, or when we are targeting people who are not represented on a broader perspective, this is the time when we have to actually mentor them, and we have to add them to our growth opportunities. And we receive growth opportunities by having diverse people in our pool and in our team. Employee resource groups. Now, create networks for underrepresented groups to support each other and advocate for change within the organization. So when there is a change in an organization, we need to have someone advocate it. We need to have documents be circulated. When there's a change management, it's hard for people to accept it. So how do we do it? We do it by creating networks. We do it by giving priority to the people who are underrepresented. So, we are giving a sense of uplifting to those underrepresented groups. So these are the three aspects that I wanted to discuss first, and we'll move on to the next ones. Inclusive leadership, storytelling and awareness, ensuring diversity at all organizational levels, is very important, particularly in leadership roles, to model inclusive behavior and decision making. Now, if, for example, we have 3 directors in our company, do you think they all should be from the same region, from the same background? Of course not. We need to have a diverse perspective when the decisions are coming, when the strategy is being formulated. So it's very important to have an inclusive leadership. Storytelling and awareness. Encourage employees to share personal stories to build empathy and break down unconscious biases. For example, Rolls-Royce Being Like Me series. So Rolls-Royce has this very good DEI policy. I mean, it's a kind of a project that they're running. It's called Being Like Me. That really encourages employees to share their personal stories, and that creates a lot of empathy, and it breaks down any unconscious bias, and it really helps employees to feel comfortable. Now, I would like to talk about Cisco here. Cisco is a technology company that has implemented a proximity initiative. Well, what happens in proximity leadership initiative? Over here, leaders engage in one-on-one conversations with colleagues from various backgrounds to better understand their experiences. It's hard for organizations to accept this because sometimes they're busy with so many other things, day-to-day life. But Cisco has developed that within their procedures and their environment and culture, that leaders engage into one-on-one conversation with their colleagues, and they want to know the different backgrounds they're having to better understand their experiences. This initiative has been instrumental in driving behavioral changes and promoting allyship within organization. Now, what's an allyship? Allyship is basically, it's like this, that it's an active support that we are giving to people who are with a smaller group. They're not majority. So I've also placed a definition here: active support for the rights of a minority or marginalized group without being a member of it. So for example, let's say that Rukhsar and Sana are part of a group, but Kashmala is not part of that group. And if she finds out that something is not happening right, Kashmala is not part of that group, but she would still come forward and show an active participation. So Kashmala is doing something that's called an allyship within the organization. So you're helping out each other in difficult perspective, different situations. This is very interesting that Cisco has done. And Cisco's commitment to EDI or DEI has positioned it as a leader in workplace equality within the tech industry. So we have discussed about Lenovo, we discussed about Cisco. So we're not getting a lot from the technology industry. Rolls-Royce, I just shared with you that they have something called Being Like Me. So the engineering company has embedded EDI into its corporate culture through initiatives such as Being Like Me series, where employees share personal stories to enhance understanding and reduce the need to edit themselves at work. So if you think about the time when you are new to the company and you're walking in and you have so many fears in your mind, there's a new employee, that person has a JD, has a job description in front of him or her, but still he or she is facing a lot of fears of new environment, new people, new bosses, new strategy, So series like Being Like Me basically helps employees to feel at ease, because this is how they share their personal stories, to understand each other better, and to reduce the need to edit themselves, to change themselves. For example, there are organizations who really encourage to be less formal. If you talk about, I know a telecom company in Pakistan who doesn't really force employees to wear formal clothes. They can just walk into casual clothes. So you're basically giving that comfort level to your employees. And this Being Like Me series is something that helps the employees, where they don't have to change themselves for the sake of something that is not important. Like, of course, you need to be punctual to work. Of course, you need to meet your KPIs. Of course, you need to meet your deadlines and targets. But there are certain things that can still work without changing. So this kind of things are helping in this company of Rolls-Royce. So this program was launched in 2022. Relatively recent, that aims to create a psychologically safe environment for its 50,000 employees across 50 countries. And this storytelling approach not only raises awareness, but also helps their colleagues build empathy and understanding, breaking down unconscious biases. So in our training session today, we might be doing something like that later. It's not called being like me, it's called something else, but you might experience a little similar feeling. Rolls-Royce brilliantly complemented these efforts with policies designed to create a psychologically safe environment, ensuring employees feel comfortable bringing their authentic self to work. So when I say authentic self to work, I really feel it at ease, because when you're not changing yourself, you're actually the original person who was hired based on your skills and all. You don't really have to change yourself. So this is the whole idea. It's very interesting. I would like to have a volunteer to read this slide. These are some 10 steps that I have jotted down, how to promote diversity and inclusion in the workplace. There can be much more steps and much more points that we can add on to it. Any volunteer who would like to read it? Nobody, so I have to pick one? Okay, I think Zanera wants to.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Step 1, learn about others' value. Second, continue your education. Third, value uniqueness. Watch for relationship changes. The fifth one is communicate your commitments to diversity. Practice empathic listening and reinforce diverse work practices. Educate your workforce. Create an inclusive environment. Lead by example.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your volunteering. And okay,
Thank you so much.
no problem. So these are certain steps that I just wanted to bring this. I just lost my slides. Just give me a moment. And here. Okay, so these are there are certain things that we would like all of us. We can basically have a few more of the points, but of course, because this is something that we want to limit it to certain things, and that's how we can go ahead with it. So from the benefits that we just discussed, I would like yes, we have Moon Rahman. Can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum. Yes.
Okay, great. Walaikum assalam. Okay, Moon Rahman, I would like you to discuss a little bit about the benefits that we were discussing about the DEI. And I will just quickly open my slide that I just stopped sharing. Just a minute. Yeah, give me a thumbs up if you can see my slides. Okay, great. So yes, Moon Rahman. So can you tell me any one benefit that I was discussing earlier that really enticed you? You think that is a benefit because we're using DEI in our workplaces?
बिल्कुल मैम एक्चुअली डाइवर्सिटी इंक्लूजन या इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी इस सब में आई थॉट एक वर्ड बड़ा कॉमन है विच इज डिस्क्रिमिनेशन कि आइदर आप अगर प्रमोट करना चाहते हैं कल्चर को या अपनी आउटपुट या अपना लाइक इसको इस तरीके से कह सकते हैं कि बिजनेस को मजीद ग्रोथ करना चाहते हैं तो आपको लाइक डिस्क्रिमिनेशन से अलग होकर देन आपको प्रोडक्टिविटी की तरफ जो है वो जाना पड़ता है लाइक डाइवर्सिटी यूजुअली लोग डाइवर्सिटी के अंदर सिर्फ दो ही बातों को कह रहे होते हैं कि लाइक डाइवर्सिटी है तो लाइक फीमेल्स को इंडक्शन की बात की जाती है डाइवर्सिटी के ऊपर ऑल्दो दे मस्ट नो कि वो सिर्फ डाइवर्सिटी का मतलब ये नहीं होता है कि वो सिर्फ जो है वो सेक्सुअली लाइक इस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू को लेके चले ऑल्दो इसके अंदर फिर डिफरेंट ओरिजिन या जितने डिफरेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू लाइक आपने एक एग्जांपल जो इनिशियली कोट की थी उसमें भी यही चीज़ थी कि जी यंगर एंड एक्सपीरियंस या ओल्डर एम्प्लॉय की बात की तो इस किस्म की जो आप ये कह लें कि डिफ्रेंसिएशन जो निकाले जाते हैं उसकी वजह से जो है वो प्रोडक्टिविटी जो है वो लॉस्ट हो जाती है राइट टू प्रमोट हमें मिलकर काम करना चाहिए हर किसी को इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी देनी चाहिए regardless the designation regardless the education if someone has any good idea in your team to give him chance to present and बहुत सारे लोग इस चीज़ का बेनिफिट भी ले लेते हैं अगर जूनियर एम्प्लॉय की तरफ से कोई बहुत अच्छा आइडिया आता है तो वो अपने नाम से पिच करके जो है वो चले जाते हैं जिसके अंदर अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ नहीं दी जाती लोगों को या आप ये कह लें कि डाउन द लाइन एम्पावर नहीं किया जा सकता नहीं किया जाता यूजुअली ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जो पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस में मैंने भी फेस किया था तो तो आई थॉट आप अगर ये सारी चीजें इम्प्लीमेंट होती है तो सबसे पहले तो प्रोडक्टिविटी जो है वो इनहांस हो जाती है.
Right. So your main point is productivity that can be enhanced when we are having DEI. And your main point was also this, that over here in Pakistan, mostly people are looking at only gender diversity, but that is not true. There are so many other things. Thank you so much for your input. Yes, I would like to get some inputs from Rukhsar. Can you hear me? About the benefits of DEI that I discussed a while ago. Is there anything that you would like to include, or you can want to discuss any point? Yes, Rukhsar, can you hear me?
मैम उसने मैसेज किया है कि वो शायद ऑफिस में है तो वो नहीं अभी.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Zanera. Because you're helping me tell the message, Zanera, it's over to you now. Would you like to discuss any point about benefits?
आई डोंट थिंक सो. मेरे लिए ये थोड़ा सा टॉपिक नया है तो मैं अभी आई एम ट्राइंग टू लर्न.
Okay, so we really hope that you learned something from this session. It's okay. Thank you so much, Zanera. We'll continue our session. So as these points were already read, we all know that there can be much more steps, but these are the ones which we are keeping in mind for now, how we can communicate our commitment to diversity. We have to lead by example. You have to create an inclusive environment, and all these points were discussed previously. Now, what is equality and diversity in the workplace? What is equality and diversity in the workplace? When organizations bring together different perspectives, skill, and experiences, or many more aspects, they become more innovative and adaptive and of course successful. When employees prioritize DEI, it leads to some real benefits. So this is something I wanted to add to start off. The first thing that I would like to discuss here is stronger recruitment. Because we are all mostly from human resources, and we are all doing CHRP over here. Certified Human Resource Professional is a certification which will give you an idea of many aspects from HR. So I wanted to bring it more into recruitment. I wanted to bring it more about HR. So the example that I want to show you is stronger recruitment. A wider talent pool means better recruitment decisions and access to top candidates. This point was also discussed earlier, and it might come over and over again in my slides. It is also important that we take care of higher engagement. Now, employees feel valued and respected, which boost morale and retention. So it is very important that we keep our employees engaged. We should give respect to them. We understand that someone is probably working and is not able to, discuss anything. So all these things we have to keep in our mind. That has to increase the morale of the team. A better workplace culture. Teams thrive in an environment where everyone can contribute their best ideas and efforts. So how can we all work together? Now, I'm on the other side of the screen and you're all on the other side of the screen, but we are all going to work together to understand our topic today, that is DEI. So a better workplace culture in our CHRP session today is that we all collaborate, we discuss our ideas and efforts and share our thoughts and learn from each other. That has always been my motto, to learn from each other. Better business outcomes. DEI isn't just the right thing to do, it drives productivity and performance. Because DEI, just like Moon Rahman just mentioned, that he really believes that DEI is to be done there for higher productivity, and the exact same point is here again, that it drives productivity and performance. Equal opportunity policies. Establish clear policies that ensure all staff are treated fairly. Although organizations have this point, but many times it happens that this policy is not followed, and not everyone is given that equal opportunity. That is wrong. That should not happen. But at least we should make sure that the policy is there, and someone should be able to address that issue, that this is there in the policy and everyone has to be treated fairly. Fair recruitment, pay, and promotion practices. Ensure recruitment processes are free from bias, that pay is equitable, and that promotional opportunities are available to all employees. Now, if there's any promotional opportunity, it should be for all the employees. It should not be for only selected number of employees. Yes, it is also important. It is also known that there are certain benefits that only higher management gets it, because of the role they're having, because of the decision they're making, because of the strategy they're formulating. So we understand this is also okay, but certain things should be given to all employees. Yes, Sunera, I can see your hand raised.
मैम आप ये इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी पॉलिसीज को जरा एक्सप्लेन कर सकती है एग्जांपल्स के साथ मजीद?
Of course. Thank you, Zanera. So equal opportunity policies is this idea that we have to establish clear policies that ensure all staff are treated fairly. Now, we all know that there is a document about HR policy, company policy and manual. In that document, it is important for the policy to be there that tells that we need to have an equal opportunity policy. That means if there is just an example for age, there should not be a certain biasness when it comes to age. For example, there is someone who is 50, let's say 45-year-old, and there's another candidate when we are hiring. Let's say that candidate is around 32. So there's a quick thought that would come to the recruiter's mind that the younger employee will be less stable because he might or she might get married, he might want to leave the company, or he might want to take more holidays. But if we hire an older employee for this documentation work, he or she would stay because, you know, he or she is naturally stabilized, much more in age, the family is already settled. You know, this kind of biasness is not giving an equal opportunity to that position. So this is one of the example from equal opportunity. Another example that I can quote is about the gender. For example, there's a position of training officer, and the company specifies in particular that we need a male training officer. Why? There has to be a very strong evidence that why do they need a male training officer? Why not a female? Although female are much better in communicating and delivering and, you know, doing other things during the trainings and all the training and development. So there has to be a strong justification that why does an organization or the department need someone who's male. Yes, if it's a field work, we need someone for the field that is naturally a male person that is required in the companies. So when we talk about equal opportunities, we're talking about being very clear about the diversity that we're looking at. And if for any reason the company has decided to keep a male or a female or someone from Asia or someone from Europe, whatever barrier they want to put, they have to give a very strong evidence that why they want it. For example, if we need someone who they need it, for example, let's say we have a French company and they need someone who can speak in French because they want two local people from the French from France. They need to speak in French. They need to look into document. They need to help us in translation. That makes good sense that why do they need French person? But if you want to have everyone French in that company while you're operating in Pakistan, that does not make any sense. So this is how we talk about equal opportunity, that we need to have that policy. Okay, thumbs up. Thank you, Zanera. I'm glad that I was able to answer. So we'll move on to our next point. Training. Offer training on unconscious bias, discrimination, and cultural awareness. So it is also important that the companies constantly train their employees about and give them cultural awareness. For example, like I have been working in different countries and also in different companies in Pakistan. So I've seen a lot of cultural difference. So it is important that when an employee is not exposed to different cultures or different environment, it is the job of the organization to have that training done periodically basis, quarterly or annually, in which the employees should be able to understand the mindset of the other people. Because sometimes when you're coming from, let's say we're talking about the provinces in Pakistan, if you're having a Punjabi, a Sindhi, a Balochi, you know, there's a difference. So Sindhi might not understand very well what a person from KPK wants. You know, there can be different ideas, not from work, but just from their behavior and their attitude. So to make the employees understand that, no, this is not what we need to do. We need to give equal chance to all of them to excel, to show, and to be able to give their ideas. That is why companies have to arrange trainings to give that cultural awareness to the other employees. So everything is clear in their minds. I hope I'm making sense here. Diverse leadership and representation. Encourage diversity at all levels of the organization, especially in leadership roles. I already discussed that earlier. Employee resource groups create network for underrepresented groups to support one another, and advocate for change within organization. All of these measures are designed to create a more inclusive and equitable environment where every employee has the opportunity to succeed. Yes, Sana has a question. Yes, Sana, please go ahead. Any questions, Sana? No? Okay, that's all right. Just give me a moment.
मैम आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन एक्चुअली आप अभी जो मैंने ज्वाइन देर से किया था तो काइंडली अगर आप ये पॉइंट जो है दोबारा से एक्सप्लेन कर दें जो आपने प्रीवियसली एक्सप्लेन किए हैं.
Okay, sure. Like which point? I will just, when did you, at what part of the session did you join us?
मैम अराउंड 6:50 मैंने ज्वाइन किया था बिकॉज मैं जॉब से आई थी तो मैं आते साथ ही जब ऑन किया लैपटॉप नहीं चल रहा था मैं मोबाइल पे इसको ज्वाइन किया तो उसमें थोड़ा सा टाइम लग गया मुझे.
No problem. I'll just quickly, briefly tell you about what we are doing. Can you, are my slides visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm having some trouble. Just give me one more second. Okay, I'll stop and then I'll share again because I'm having some problem with my viewing. Okay, you can see my slides now? Yeah, okay, good. Right, so I'll just, yes, Sana, I would quickly overview about what we are discussing. Basically, our whole idea today is that we are talking about DEI. DEI is basically diversity, equity, and inclusion. That means diverse means when we are involving people from different places, different kinds, different gender, and different nationality in a certain team. And when we talk about equity, equity is when we are being fair with everyone, right? That's equity. Inclusion, DEI, inclusion is basically when we want to include everyone in that part. For example, there are 100 employees, and if we only involve 60 employees in a promotional campaign or in an event, that would be unfair. So we have to involve everyone in that particular event. These are just small examples. So I shared some points. The slides will be given to you, so don't have to worry. The points that I was discussing right now is that how can we in the organization promote equal opportunity? So there are several examples, several points that were discussed. One of them, the very critical, is that when we are giving them trainings, for trainings, we have to be very sure that it is, as a company, it's our job to train our employees to be aware about people from different culture, different backgrounds, and how unconscious bias can become really. For example, if I see someone who's darker in color, I would say, no, that person is probably not going to be the right person sitting at the reception. So this is something that is highly discouraged. It should be highly discouraged. And somehow these concepts are still in our mind. And if we see a young girl walking in the office, we have a very strong feeling, oh, she can be a good receptionist. But if we have a girl with a large, relatively a bigger age, people will be like, okay, no, she might not be a good face at the reception for the company. So this is kind of a wrong mindset. We have to discourage these things, and we need to have a DEI strategy. So what I was discussing earlier, Sana, it was that I discussed some examples from different companies, Alibaba, L'Oreal, and Lenovo, and all those. You can read them later. So there were some facts and figures that really tells us how DEI effectively helps in organization. So I think this should be enough for Sana. For the summary.
Yes, ma'am. मैंने examples जो है ना वो Lenovo and L'Oreal से तो मैंने start कर लिया था.
Great. That's great. Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Happy to help. Okay, how does DEI benefit businesses? Now, when we talk about businesses in particular, what wider talent pool? A diverse recruitment strategy allows businesses to attract candidates from a broader talent pool. This increases the chance of finding the best fit for each role. For example, we have an engineering position, we have a training position, we have a documentation expert, we need someone who has to work on automation tools, and we need someone who has to deal with the clients, we need someone who's on the marketing side. So these are different roles. We need to have a we need to have best fit for each role, but we need to look into the diverse talent pool. Market understanding. A more diverse workforce brings with it deeper insights into different market segments, customer behavior, and localized needs. When we're talking about, for example, right now, I'm not in Pakistan. Wherever I am, I have to focus on the rules and the policies of this land. So similarly, when we're talking about local, when we talk about Pakistan, we're talking about Pakistani companies, we need to have also the localized needs for us. For example, we're talking about support staff in our company. We're talking about drivers. We're talking about T-boys. We're talking about cleaning staff. They have their own problems. They have their own requirements, and they have some localized needs that the company has to administer. For example, there are a lot of Christian staff working in different companies. So what companies do for them is that they give them special holidays, which are normally not given to the people who are obviously from the Muslim communities. For example, in Christmas, they're given special holidays, or for Easter. So even other than that, we try to help them in certain ways, not as in like we are help them. It's like how we benefit them as the employee of the organization. It's the job of the organization. I think Sana has entered the room again. We need to admit her. Yeah. Higher innovation, different perspectives foster creativity, leading to innovative solutions, unlike in a homogeneous environment. So we all know homogeneous means same. If we have a similar environment, we'll not be able to progress more. So we need to have a diverse. It's a very common example. If you're having 7 boys, a team of 7 men, and then there are 2 women walking in that team, there's naturally a stronger chance of productivity over there. This is very, very much true. We need to have a heterogeneous environment. We shouldn't focus always on homogeneous. When we have 2 female walking in a team with the other 7 male, naturally the team will work in a productive way, because men will get conscious, women will get conscious. They both need to work together, and they both need to have to prove themselves. So naturally there will be consciousness, there will be productivity and a change. Brand reputation, companies that are known for their commitment to DEI earn the trust of both customers and employees. Zoom breakout rooms, our first collaborative session. I hope, I remember you all enjoyed very much from our discussion last time. So in our, in our Zoom breakout rooms right now, we will be discussing, you have to read the scenario and discuss, come up with the conclusion from your discussion, nominate a group leader. Okay. So I will be giving you a scenario in which I want, so the Sir Mansoor will be sharing, dividing all of you in room 1 and room 2. Please
excuse me.
decide. Yes,
I have
sir.
a suggestion. I have a suggestion कि अभी prayer break कर लेते हैं
Okay.
और उसके बाद फिर Zoom की एक्टिविटी कर लेते हैं। हमने सजेस्ट किया था 7:30 पे prayer break करेंगे ताकि सारे पाकिस्तान से लोग जो है ना वो इंक्लूड हो सके। ठीक है।
So we still have 8 minutes to 7:30. I can discuss something else, and then we will have our break at 7:30. So there's no problem with the time. Okay, we'll go back to our slide from the benefits. Yes, I want some discussion on this slide. So when we're talking about higher employee engagement and retention, Afifa, I would like you to discuss this point a bit more with us. Are you available to speak? Yes, Afifa? Okay, we can have Afsana. Afsana, can you hear us? Are you able to speak? We need to have a bit of more discussion so we can understand things in a better way. Yes, Afsana and Afifa, probably they're not. Yes, Sana, would you like to read these points for us? And we would like to discuss a bit more before we go for our namaz prayer break. Yes, Sana, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, मैं पढ़ लेती हूँ.
Okay, Afsana is here. Afsana, I want you to read point number 2, the higher employee engagement.
Sure, ma'am. Higher employee engagement and retention. Inclusive workplaces foster a sense of belonging, leading to greater job satisfaction and lower turnover.
Very good. Thank you so much, Afsana. Yes, Sana, would you like to explain this to us? We're just going to have a discussion, and if there's any point that we get stuck, we can help each other. So Sana, can you please discuss this point further with us? Higher employee engagement and retention.
मैम एक्चुअली अभी मैं इसको अंडरस्टैंड करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ एक्चुअली मेरा आज सेकेंड डे था जॉब पे मेरी अभी जॉब स्टार्ट हुई है एंड जो है ना फॉर्चुनेटली मुझे एचआर में ही जॉब मिली है तो अभी चीजें मेरे हिसाब से थोड़ी जो है ना मतलब समझने की जरूरत है मुझे मजीद एंड तो इस हिसाब से जो है ना अभी ये मेरे लिए कुछ पॉइंट्स नहीं हुए हैं
Right. I'm very happy for you. Good luck for your new job. Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So when we talk about inclusive workplaces, we mean that we are adding people from different backgrounds, different skills, and different mindset, different ideas. Why do we do that? We do that because we want to foster a sense of belonging. We don't want to make people feel that there are only people from KPK here, and this company has only people from Sindh, or that company has people only from Quetta. You know, we don't want people in our organization to feel that. We want to give them a sense of belonging. They should be able to feel, okay, we belong to this place. It's not that only people from armed forces are there, only people from civil society are there. No, we want to have a mix of all of them, leading to greater job satisfaction and lower turnover. When we talk about turnover, turnover means when people are leaving the company and coming, leaving and coming, you know, when the people are frequently leaving the organization, when the employees are leaving the organization, that is a higher turnover. So organizations don't want a high turnover. Organizations want low turnover. Why? Because there's a huge cost in recruitment. There's a huge cost in recruitment, training, and organization don't want to face that. And naturally, no organization would want their employee to be dissatisfied. Yes, Zanera, you have a question?
यस मैम मैम जो अभी आप ये पॉइंट एक्सप्लेन कर रही थी मेरे माइंड में ये सवाल आ रहा था कि जैसे अगर कोई एक हेड ऑफिस है वो कराची में है और जो रीजनल ऑफिस है वो लाहौर में है बट हम कंपनीज यही प्रेफर करती हैं कि जो कराची के लोग हैं हम जो कराची की कंपनी है वहाँ पे कराची के लोग ही हम हायर करेंगे ठीक है और जो लाहौर में है वहाँ पे हम लाहौर के ही ज्यादातर लोग हायर करेंगे ताकि हमें उनको एक तो वो उनकी लॉन्ग लास्ट रहेंगे और आउट ऑफ सिटी का ज्यादा ये भी होता है ना उनके थोड़े से मसले मसाइल चल रहे होते हैं कि अकोमोडेशन वगैरह तो फिर यहाँ पे ये कैसे पॉइंट फिट होगा
Okay, Zanera, thank you so much for bringing that question. So that point is, so when we're talking about having people only from Lahore and having people only from Karachi, that would be suitable for certain positions. Now, let's say if there's a company, this is true, or this is actually happening, and this is also right. It should be done because we don't want a person from Pindi or Islamabad to fly all the way to Karachi and then take holidays every month. That is a very good point. But in bigger organization, because we're talking about smaller companies here. In small companies, these kind of challenges are not faced much. Like people from, for example, there's a company in Lahore, they will try to have most of the people from Lahore. But when we talk about companies with a bigger perspective, with much more higher vision, and they want to increase their employee force, what they will do is they will definitely have local people from Lahore or from Karachi because they want to have the localized people for the localized need. But at the same time, if they want to have a productive and an inclusive company and they want to achieve on meeting more goals and targets and profit for their company, they have to have DEI and they have to have someone in the management at least to have someone from other areas. Over here, I don't exactly mean that we don't need to have only Pathans or we don't need to have only Sindhis. It's not like that. It's just that how much sense of belonging we can give to people. For example, there are 10 people from Lahore and there are only 2 from, let's say, Karachi in a company. It is the role of people who are in majority in that organization to make the other 2 comfortable. So when we're talking about companies who want to achieve bigger visions and have bigger targets, it is really important for them to have a DEI concept in their company. They need to have people from other regions. But at the same time, I don't agree with this that we should only have people from the same region. We are also talking about the skills and experiences. So when I say sense of belonging, it does not, that was just an example that I'm giving you, but the bigger part is the skills, the experience also that we cannot overlook. So we need to have someone who is we need to have people in that company from different set of experiences. For example, we have 3 HR people in a company, and all the HR people in that company have a lot of experience in recruitment. And the people who were hiring those 3 HR people, they never saw that all 3 have they have recruitment experience. They never saw that they should have also added someone from who has experience in training and development, someone who had experience in automation, or someone who has experience in policy making. It was job of the directors to add a bunch of HR people with different skill set. So this is also what is part of this higher employee engagement retention. Am I able to answer your questions in error? Did that make sense?
यस मैम, मतलब इसका जो स्मॉल कंपनीज होंगी वो अपनी डाइवर्सिटी इस तरह से कर सकेंगे कि वो अकोमोडेशन देना स्टार्ट कर दे डिफरेंट स्किल्स, या
Yes,
अगर
that
वो हायरिंग
that
वो
is a
डिफरेंट
bigger
किसी से करना
perspective.
स्टार्ट कर दे, वो उनकी डाइवर्सिटी और उनका टर्नओवर इस तरह से वो बढ़ा सकते हैं अपना.
Exactly. They can provide more benefits, more facilitation. But at the same time, we're not only looking at the region, Zanera, we're also looking at the skills and the experience and the credentials. Like for example, Zanera is done with her CHRP. When Zanera is going to her job, she will be seen as a person who has a certification, and then you have an add-on edge on other employees. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When you're enhancing
Yes,
your
ma'am.
credentials, you're basically your company should be proud of you, and the company should know that, okay, we're having more highly qualified people, so there is more inclusiveness in our company. So I think we are done with this
Thank you,
question.
ma'am.
No, most welcome. And it's time for the prayer now. So we'll take 10-minute prayer break, and we will be resuming after 10 minutes. So, and then we'll start off with our Zoom breakout room. Thank you. Yes, are we all back? Okay, we have to start our session. So Mansoor, can we resume now?
I think we can wait a minute or two.
Okay, okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Kashmala, you're back. Thank you.
Ma'am, I need to talk to you.
Right now?
Yes.
Oh, yes, please
I
go
have to
ahead.
ask something.
Sure,
As
please
a
go ahead.
HR, what's in your mind when you hire someone? These days, I'm looking for a job and I'm thinking, like, what should I do to get a job? It's very difficult to get a job in Pakistan, you know?
Kashmala, you need to look into the skill set that you have and the kind of job that you're looking for. What have you done?
So I have done commerce. So I'm switching my career from teaching to, HR. So I'm doing HR, MS, Management Sciences, right now. So I'm looking for a job like as an intern or officer, but I'm not getting anything right now.
It's not that you're not getting anything, Kashmala. It's just that the market is like this. It's basically everywhere. So don't lose your hope. And because you already started your MS in HR, so you have a very strong reason that you want to land into HR jobs. And because you're switching your career, you are justifying that by doing your MS in HR. That is very, very good. So once you have that degree in hand, I'm sure you will be able to, land into much better position of getting a job and applying. Right now, you're doing the right thing by going ahead with something like internship or something, at a startup position, for example, an HR assistant or a coordinator that has less decisions and other kind of role. It's more about the basics of HR. Keep looking for that, and there are so many job portals now, like job boards, where it's the effort. You have to put in a lot of effort. You have to build your profile, and you have to put your profile on different platforms. It's like this: you drop 100 applications and you get one response. It's like this. Now the market is really competitive, so don't lose your hope. And as an HR person, your question was very general. I don't think I will be able to answer you that, because when I, as an HR person, I'm looking at someone when I'm interviewing or we want to hire someone, we obviously look into the skill set they have and the kind of requirement the company is having. So it's not in the hand of the HR person to hire or not hire someone. It's basically against the documents. And in Pakistan, there are still really good organizations where you can actually get that kind of respect based on your education and your experience and your aspects. Other thing that as an HR person that you asked me, that as an HR person, what do I see or what do HR people see? It's basically their commitment, their dedication, and their behavior. There are a lot of situations where employees, the candidate might be able to answer the technical question, but when it comes to commitment and behavior, they're not able to meet that requirement. So naturally, HR people want someone who is committed. Now, when you tell them in your interviews that you're doing MS in HR, be sure to tell them that I am doing my studies, but at the same time, I'm highly committed and dedicated to meet my work fully. It's not that if I'm doing my lessons and my classes, my masters, I will be, overlooking my job. It's not like that. You need to make sure that you tell this to them yourself, one step forward. And you can justify that by giving an example from your personal experience or from your professional work, if you have any, and make them understand that you've actually done that. You've done two things together before, and even now you can do it. So try to be more confident in your answers and be positive. I'm sure you will get something, okay?
Can you name some organizations you were talking about? Like in Pakistan, there are some organizations. So I based in Islamabad. Can you tell me some organization?
Kashmala, this platform is probably not something where I can share any names for the company, but yes, we can definitely share the job boards with you. You should look for rosiepk.com. You can look for Bright Spider. We can drop that message on the WhatsApp group. Try to make your profile on those platforms. That is more like a headhunter. They are the online job boards. They're called job boards. And I cannot name any organization over here right now, but I can certainly tell you the job boards and try to make your profile there. And then from there, you get linked to different, and also try visiting different events. There are seminars and events for fresh people, for what's it called? It has a specific name, job fair, I think. Islamabad, I think it used to happen. These kind of platforms are also very good. So keep lookout on that, and also stay connected with your university. I'm sure in universities in Pakistan, they're also having certain departments where they are also doing career counseling now, and they're also helping fresh people to get on the job by opening some job fair events and all these things. So stay connected, stay networked, be positive, and just think positive. Things will turn out good, inshallah, for you. Okay. Now let's move on to our training. So Zoom breakout rooms, the scenario that I would like to put here in front of you, I want all of you to listen to this carefully because I will be not repeating this again. Firstly, you will all be divided into 2 rooms. You have to nominate one group leader who will be discussing the points on your behalf in our discussion. So after the Zoom breakout room discussion is done, we will be discussing the points that was discussed in your rooms, but we need only one person from your group, so you can choose your leader, or anyone can volunteer, right? And the scenario is, so a company has a team of five people: Alex, Priya, Jamal, May, and Sophia. So these are 5 people, and it's a team of 5 people. Each person brings a unique skill to the team, but only 3 are currently included in important meetings and decisions. So you understand there's a team, like it is an organization that has maybe 10 people, 12, 50 people, 20 people, we don't know. But it's a company, and that company has a team, and that team is of 5 people. And those 5 people have different skills, different mind, ideas, and unique skill set, but only 3 are currently included in important meetings and decisions. Now, who are those 3? We don't have to worry about that. Only 3 from these are going to go to decision-making meetings and important meetings. Now, the question is, how can the team leader ensure everyone is included and valued equally? The question is, how can the team leader ensure everyone is included and valued equally? Now, we know that only 3 are currently included in important meetings. So 3 people from this team can go and discuss things in the meeting. So how can the team leader of this team ensure everyone is included and valued equally? That's the question. So Mansoor will be dividing you in the breakout rooms, and then you will be discussing further. And we can jump inside and watch and listen to your discussion anytime you want. So good luck. Any question until now for this scenario? No, good. So I think we are pretty much clear. Good luck to everyone, and we will give you around 3 minutes should be enough. 3 minutes for a Zoom breakout.
Okay, I'm creating.
Thank you, sir.
The scenario have been shared in the chat box of WhatsApp.
Thank you.
Please join your respective rooms. Let's go. Okay, Sana and Hira, please join your respective rooms.
Hera is unable to join the group, she said.
Okay.
And Sana, please join your respective group.
Yeah. Okay, I think everyone is back now.
Yeah, everyone is back. So I'll be sharing my screen. And all right, how was the discussion? I hope everyone has enjoyed. Okay, we'll quickly go into our discussions. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, good. Right, so our situation is right in front of us again. And I hope all of you have enjoyed the discussion. If you didn't understand, it's fine. We can still discuss more. Yes, room number 2, let's go with you first. Who is your group leader? And please unmute yourself. And can we have a discussion? How can the team leader ensure everyone is included and valued equally?
मूल
Yes,
मेहमान डिस्कस करेंगे वो
yes, room number 1. Who was your group leader?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैम। मैम मैं डिस्कस करना चाह रही हूँ।
Can you say your name? I cannot see you.
अफीफा मैम।
Yes, Afifa. Yes, Afifa. You're the group leader for room 1? Okay, great.
हाँ जी मैम।
Please go ahead.
मैम हम लोगों को जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग हुई है इस सिनेरियो के हिसाब से वो ये है कि अगर 3 लोग करंटली एक मीटिंग अटेंड करें जो जो इम्पोर्टेंट है और जिसमें डिसीजन मेकिंग होनी है, और 2 जो है लेफ्ट हैं, लेफ्ट आउट हैं, बट उनकी भी इक्वल प्रेजेंटेशन होनी चाहिए, उनकी भी इंक्लूड होना चाहिए उनके डिसीजन या उनका आइडियाज को। तो उसको प्रेजेंट करने के लिए जो इनके आइडियाज को जॉट डाउन कर लिया जाए, जो 2 बाहर हैं उन दोनों को जॉट डाउन कर लिया जाए और प्रेजेंट किया जाए बाय देयर ओन नेम, ये उन्हीं के नाम से प्रेजेंट किया जाए
Okay.
बाय द लीडर इन फ्रंट ऑफ जो भी पैनल बैठा हुआ है या जिसको भी प्रेजेंट करना है। तो फिर ये इस तरह हो सकता है कि उनको भी हम इक्वली इंक्लूड कर रहे होंगे, बेशक वो फिजिकली वहां पे मौजूद नहीं है, लेकिन हम उनके नाम से हम प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं कि उनके आइडियाज को हम पैनल के सामने लेके आ रहे हैं।
Very good.
तो इस तरह हम उनकी प्रेजेंस को ना इक्वली और इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं और वैल्यू दे सकते हैं। ये
Okay, great.
समझ आइए मुझे।
Great, great, excellent, Afifa. Any other point, Afifa, that you want to share from your group? Kashmala is clapping for you. She's clapping for you. Okay, good. I really like the way you put it together. Okay, we'll jump to room 2.
मैम एक्चुअली टाइम बहुत शॉर्ट था और माइग्रेन की वजह से ना बस समझ नहीं कुछ आ रही थी, तो बस एक ही पॉइंट है मेरे पास, सॉरी।
Fine. This is also a situation for you to handle it with your migraine in less time, and you did a very good job, Afifa, and your group. Thank you. Yes, room number 2. Who's your group leader? Yes, group 2. Room number 2. Your group leader is? Please unmute yourself.
मूल रहमान थे, उन्होंने डिस्कस करना था।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
Yes, Moon Rahman, group leader for room number 2. Please tell us what were your discussions.
Actually, ma'am, as we were discussing के एक्चुअली थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, मुझे 1 सेकंड दीजिएगा सो दैट स्क्रीन रिफ्लेक्ट कर जाए। राइट, या गुड, इट्स फाइन नाउ। एक्चुअली एप्रिसिएशन सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है वैल्यू फील करवाने के लिए, ऐसा मुझे लगता है कि इफ़ वी आर मतलब हर एम्प्लॉय की एक अलग एक्सपर्टीज होती है हर चीज़ में। ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है कि सब लोग अच्छा बोलने वाले हों, कुछ लोगों का टीम में बैक ऑफिस का वर्क बहुत अच्छा होता है, कुछ लोगों की प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स बहुत अच्छी होती है, किसी की ट्रेनिंग स्किल्स बहुत अच्छी होती है। जस्ट एन एग्जांपल, अगर सब लोगों ने मिलकर कोई चीज़ वर्क परफॉर्म किया और जिसको 2 या 3 लोग अगर प्रेजेंट करने के लिए जा रहे हैं और उसके ऊपर कोई किसी किस्म के आउटपुट या पॉजिटिव रिजल्ट्स आते हैं, तो वापस आने के बाद टीम को इंगेज करना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, सो दैट दे शुड फील वैल्यूड, और उनको अप्रिशिएट करना है कि आप लोगों की इन एफर्ट्स की वजह से हमने ये प्रोजेक्ट लिया या ये प्रेजेंटेशन हमारी सक्सेसफुल रही, व्हाटएवर सो सो फार। तो मैं एक इवेंट भी अपना शेयर कह रहा था सिंस फ्यू इयर्स बैक व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड माय करियर। तो हमारे एक मैनेजर हुआ करते थे, वो पहले तो हर कंसर्न के लिए एक ईमेल ड्राफ्ट किया करते थे, बहुत गुस्से वाली कोई काम उन्हें करवाना होता था, और ऑल ऑफ अ सडन उनका बिहेवियर चेंज हुआ। उन्होंने वो ग्रे एरिया हाईलाइट्स करने के बजाय अप्रिशिएट करना शुरू कर दिया कि यार दैट्स वंडरफुल, यू हैव डन अ वेरी गुड जॉब। सो टीम में कंपटीशन इस चीज पे डेवलप्ड हो गया कि यार उस एम्प्लॉय को या मेरे उस कुलीग को मैनेजर ने अप्रिशिएट किया, थंब अप से कि तो आई शुड डू समथिंग ग्रेट जिसके ऊपर मुझे भी अप्रिसिएशन की जाए, जिसकी वजह से हमारा आउटपुट बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा हुआ था, प्रोडक्टिविटी बहुत ज्यादा इनहांस हो गई थी। तो अप्रिसिएशन मुझे लगता है कि वैल्यू फील करवाने के लिए जरूरी है, और एंगेजमेंट बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है कि हर बंदे को उसका फीडबैक इंडिविजुअली या इन अ ग्रुप जो है जरूर शेयर किया जाए। Thank you.
Thank you so much, Moon Rahman and Room 2. Exactly, that is true, Moon Rahman. But our question is, how can the team leader ensure this? आपने ये नहीं बताया, how can you do it? So I understand that appreciation is there. Of course, we want appreciation, like Afifa mentioned from room number 1. And I really like the way they put it together, room number 1, that by taking the name of the person, because only 3 people are involved in the meeting, how can the other 2 participate? That was the question. So whatever you said is correct, Moon Rahman. You're right on your part. But the question says, how can you do that? And we can do that by discussing the ideas and the inputs from the rest of the team members before those meetings, right? So for example, there are 3 meetings scheduled in a week. So, and let's suppose Alex, Priya, and Jamal are the ones who are going to go to the meetings, and the last 2, May and Sophia, are the ones who will not go in the meeting. So how can Alex, Priya, and Jamal ensure that May and Sophie also become part of the decision and the idea? So Afifa's room has put it together. Afifa's room has group has put it together very well, that they will share the ideas with their names, so their representation is also done. But how will they do that? They will get the ideas from May and Sophia. When? Of course, before the scheduled meeting. For example, the next meeting is scheduled on Tuesday. Alex, Priya, and Jamal will sit together with May and Sophia, and they will all discuss about a certain, for example, the higher management wants to know the feedback about the let's say about the infrastructure of the company. So they all will put together the ideas that how the infrastructure can be improved, how we can make it more professional, how we can make it more brighter, what things can be done. So Alex, Priya, and Jamal will add ideas of May and Sophia in the meeting, but how? Of course, before pre-meeting. We can call that pre-meeting. And we can also do this once the meetings are done. Whatever decision was done, they can get feedback from the other team members. And after the decisions were done, the feedback was taken in the next meeting. Alex, Priya, and Jamal can go and take names of May and Sophia, that these are the ideas and feedbacks from them, and this is what they think. I think we also believe this is a good point, and this is how we can add on to these things. And another thing can also be done by putting ideas forward anonymously. If, for example, there are certain managers or directors or people in the management who don't like to receive ideas from let's say a relatively junior staff. That is true. There are so many wrong practices taking place in the company. So what can Alex, Priya, and Jamal do? They can just float the idea with the management anonymously without taking any names. So they will say, like, our team has come up with these points, and this is our input, and this is our plan. This is how we can do it. So there can be different ideas from which these ideas can the values can be shared further. And any other point we can obviously share. So this was the whole idea. We wanted to engage. I wanted to engage all of you. So very good job, everyone. Room 1 and 2, you did an excellent job. We will be going to another breakout Zoom after a while. And before that, I want to discuss these points with you. Okay, Zanera is clapping. I don't know whom is she clapping for, but okay, good job, Zanera. Thank you for the appreciation. What role do employees play in DEI? Now, we all know that companies have to take out, they have to float the ideas, they have to bring the policy, they have to show, like we discussed about Rolls-Royce has this series, of talking and knowing each other. And there are so many other things that the companies are doing. But now, what role do employees have in the DEI? Now, employees are crucial. They're very important for what? For fostering a diverse and inclusive workplace. if employees are not there, do you think the workforce will be there? No. If there is no employee, there is no workforce. So when employees are there, it is a crucial part of the company. To build a fairer environment, individuals must actively challenge unconscious bias. For example, I gave you an example in my earlier discussion. There are certain things that are just in our mind that, even if we talk about certain universities, we have that mindset that if a candidate is coming from that university, he or she will be having that kind of mindset or that kind of, So these are unconscious biasness. Sometimes we as parents, as siblings, as children, we also do these unconscious bias behavior, which we sometimes don't come to know. It is it's very obvious. For example, if we talk about an older sibling and a younger sibling, if a mother and a father, they're talking to them, the parents will automatically divert to the older sibling, older child, because they have this in their mind that that child is older, he or she would know more about certain situation. But that is an unconscious bias. We as parents, or they as parents, should give right to all their children to speak up and be able to share that point or idea. So unconscious bias is something that it happens by us subconsciously. We don't deliberately or intentionally do it. It just sometimes happens. So we need to keep that engaged, that we should not do that. Simple actions like questioning assumptions and addressing unfair treatment can have a significant impact. Like Moon Rahman was mentioning about one of his bosses previously. He was very rough and aggressive in the beginning, but then he changed himself. He started appreciating, and that's how the performance in the company really enhanced, because obviously everybody wanted to perform well. So if an employee is not questioning or is not raising any concern, company might continue to work in the same flow. They might not make any effort. So it's important for employees to speak up. Yes, Zanera, you have a question?
यस मैम, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि यहाँ पे जो आप कह रही हैं कि एम्प्लॉयज का जो रोल है, तो फिर बीइंग एचआर, क्या वो इस तरह के सेशन करवाए या कोई इस तरह मीटअप रखे सभी एम्प्लॉयज के लिए, जहाँ पे वो क्वेश्चन रेज कर सके या एनवायरनमेंट के बारे में बात कर सके?
Yes, excellent. Yes, Zanera, it is the role of the management and HR for them to create that opportunity for employees to speak. But if the organization are not opening that platform, they're not giving an opportunity, employees still have to come forward and ask. Like, for example, if I am facing any problem and my company is not giving me a chance to give any survey, any feedback, or discuss, they're not giving me any opportunity. So what will I do? I will walk to the HR department, or I will walk to the director or management and request them to please, listen to me, or I can write an email. So as an employee, you have to raise your voice. You have to bring that.
एचआर को इतना जेनरस होना चाहिए कि एम्प्लॉय आके उसको बता सके, इजीली ओपनली बता सके उसको ये इशू है. समटाइम्स एम्प्लॉय आपस में डिस्कस कर रहे होते हैं और डिस्कशन चलते चलते एचआर तक पहुंच जाती है, फिर भी एचआर एक्शन नहीं लेते. समटाइम्स ऐसा भी मैंने देखा.
Yes.
तो
as a human resource body, we are called the people's person. So we are supposed to take care of the human capital in the organization. But unfortunately, that does not happen everywhere. But now the times are changing. The whole spectrum of working environment is changing. So somehow, somewhere, things are going to change in our country as well. And a lot of companies are still practicing in a good way. But still, there are many loopholes. But as a department, it is
सिर्फ हम मैनुअली कर सकते हैं या फिर लाइक ऑटोमेशन, अगर कोई ईआरपी सिस्टम चल रहा है उसमें हम पोल वगैरह या कोई सर्वे कंडक्ट करके उसके थ्रू भी कर सकते हैं?
Yes, if you remember, we discussed in our automation session. Yeah, there were like frequent surveys were done, and that was also a part of, naturally, it was done in an automated way. So through automation, it is very quick and efficient. We can get the real-time results, like we did that through our Slido experience as well. So yes, it can be done using automation, or it can be done manual, or it can be done through meetings. There can be different ways of doing it, but they should be done. Supporting colleagues from diverse backgrounds ensures everyone feels valued and included. Allyship is key, speaking up against discrimination, offering encouragement, and making sure every voice counts. For example, there are two people who are completely new to the environment and they're not familiar with the group, with the team. The rest of them have to, it is their responsibility and their job to make them comfortable, because sometimes at the workplaces, there's a culture developed where the new person coming in is not made comfortable. That should be discouraged. And if there's something that is wrong happening anywhere, it is important to speak up, and that's called allyship, like I discussed previously. Inclusion extends beyond company-led efforts. Everyday actions shape the workplace culture. We all know that we have to go to work every morning. There should be a feeling of happiness when you're going to work. There should not be a feeling of, oh my God, I have to go again to work. I don't want to go to work. That kind of feeling will never bring the productivity. So when you're going to work every day, you want to be seen as a happy person. You want to be encouraged. You want to be appreciated. But if you don't find those things there, you have to find your way. You have to find something nice, something in your company or in your job role that makes you happy or that keeps you going, because if you keep doing that, you will never be able to flourish. So it is important that employees should feel empowered to report discrimination. If someone is going to HR, like just now you mentioned, Zanera, that if HR is not opening any platform, what should we do? Then you have to walk in. So it is important for you to make other people feel, it is HR's job to make them feel empowered. But if someone is not speaking, so you can go ahead and speak, trusting that leaders will take their concerns seriously. Once again, the same point is being repeated that we were discussing earlier, that leaders have to understand that these things are to be taken seriously. A truly inclusive culture isn't accidental. It requires commitment from everyone. When individuals take ownership of workplace fairness, the entire organization thrives. So you have to make effort. You have to take baby steps. You have to make changes in your process, and you have to give a lot of you have to show a lot of dedication in order for your organization to thrive, if you want to have inclusive environment. So that is why I wrote it, that inclusive culture is not by accident. You have to earn it. You have to do it. So you have to show constant commitment and fairness with your work and role. So role of HR professionals and HR leaders, I would like Moon Rahman to read these points. Moon Rahman, are you here?
Yes, I am. First one
Can
is,
you see our screen?
yes.
Okay, so I want you to read out the responsibility and then the description and an example of that, and then we will discuss something more about it. Thank you.
Responsibility, first one is accountability. Monitor, report, and hold all staff accountable for meeting DEI objectives. Leadership engagement, work with senior leaders to prioritize DEI and allocate resources for initiative. Policy development, craft anti-discrimination, equal opportunity and accommodation policies, regularly review and update them. Recruitment and talent, attract diverse candidates through inclusive job postings and outreach. Implement fair selection processes. Strategic planning, develop and update DEI policies aligned with organizational goals, set frameworks for recruitment and fair treatment. Training and awareness, provide training on unconscious bias, cultural awareness, and anti-discrimination for all employees.
Thank you so much, Moon Rahman. So I really want to discuss more about this, but we don't have much time. We have another bigger session to do about our next Zoom breakout. So I'll just quickly go through this. So now, like Zanera was discussing about how can, we raise our voice and what will HR do or not, these kind of things. So over here, we have listed down the responsibilities and also what things they can do in order to, really have the DEI in the system. So we can see we have recruitment talent, and then we also have training and awareness. So it's not only HR, it's basically all the components of HR. And then we have strategic planning, leadership team also getting engaged. So it's the whole company's spectrum that needs to make efforts, and they need to develop that DEI policy. They need to work together, and they need to craft it so that staff are felt accountable. And they, if the company is providing them an opportunity, they should be they should be doing it. So they are also, there should be a point of accountability. So all of them are important. But if you talk about accountability and policy development, I think that's really important. Then we talk about strategic planning. That's again very important. So we need to look into them closely and try and understand each of the roles, which can naturally get different when it comes to different organization styles. So this is a broader perspective. So now we will be jumping to the factors to consider when preparing HR policies. I'm not sure if any one of you is familiar with the HR policy and procedure document. When we were in the HR department, there's a document. It has all the manuals and it is a manual with all the procedures and policies. And then they are reviewed after a certain time. For example, there's a leave policy, there's a time management policy, there's a recruitment policy, a termination policy, all kind of policies are there. So what are the factors when you should consider when you're preparing them? Legal compliance, accessibility, continuous review, bias-free processes, we've already discussed that, cultural competence, transparency. These are important aspects that can be shared further. I'll quickly read out for everyone's understanding. What happens in legal compliance? Ensure employees meet all local and international laws regarding equal opportunity and non-discrimination. There should not be any discrimination in the company. There should not be any thing that is overlooked. When we're talking about global companies, they have to keep in mind international laws. When we're talking about local, we have to take care of local laws. I'm not sure if you've already done the labor law session from your CHRP session, but it was really useful when I did it. You will get more idea about that there. Bias-free processes. Remove bias from recruitment. We already discussed that earlier, so I don't need to go into this. Accessibility is make accommodations for employees with disabilities and ensure all facilities and processes are accessible. So this was earlier shared when one of you raised the question about having all the local people from Lahore or all the local people from Karachi, and she was also mentioning that companies should arrange accommodation. I don't remember who exactly was that, but that was a very good point. So now you see, we can also see accessibility for disabled employees. So if you provide opportunity for disabled employee candidates, they will be encouraged to apply for that job. For example, there's a job that does not require a lot of movement. You just only have to sit at one place and work on the computer and with some files. There is a very bigger chance that you will find good candidates for that position who are disabled. But if your company is not providing any facility for them, how can they come and contribute to your company? So as an organization, you have to provide an equal opportunity to all the candidates. So for example, there is someone who cannot walk, and let's say she's on wheelchair, but she can still contribute to the company's that role because she's really good. She has bright mind, she has good skills, she has fast typing speed, she understands the documents, she can work on the tools. But the only problem is she cannot move because she is not able to use her legs. So if the company can provide facilities to such disabled people, they can be part of their team. And this is how we can make it more diverse. And that's how we can make it more inclusive. Cultural competence, recognize and respect cultural differences. We already discussed that. Continuous review, regularly assess and update policies to reflect evolving best practices. It is very important that we need to regularly keep monitoring our processes so we know that where we are lagging behind. Transparency is important. Clearly and openly communicate DE&I policies and progress to all employees. So these things are important because of the policies when we are making. So I'll be quickly jumping into the discussion that we were, not the discussion, but the idea that I rotated in the beginning, spot the bias. So what was the scenario, if anyone can quickly highlight? What was the scenario that I gave it to you in the brain teaser in the beginning of the session, where I asked you to write some points? There was a scenario. If you look into the picture, you might be able to understand it. Anyone who remembers? Right in the beginning of the session,
Yes,
I gave you
yes, ma'am. Young employees can use technology in more efficiently than older employees.
Very
ये scenario
good.
था ना?
Very good. So this is where I want to discuss. And Zanera, what do you think? Was that the right thing to do, and was it a biasness?
Yes, ma'am. It wasn't right thing to do. ये बायसनेस थी इसमें। आप जो मे बी जो वो ओल्डर एम्प्लॉयज थे वो विलिंग हो कि वो इस चीज को वो लर्न करे, अपने आप को एक्सप्लोर करना चाह रहे हैं, बट इस चीज की वजह से वो पीछे बैक आउट हो गए हैं।
Exactly.
तो
Okay. So this is an example of age biasness. It's also called ageism. Anyone else who would like to contribute towards this, the scenario? What did you write? What were your points? I would like to know what were your points, because at that time we didn't start our session, and most of the details were not familiar with DEI, but I still want to know what points did you write. Anyone else would like to contribute?
Yes, ma'am. Can I?
Yes, Kashmala.
Okay, ma'am. You were right कि ये ageism ही है. That's it. And in this scenario, the manager assumes skills based on age, and
Very
which is
good.
unfair
That
assumptions.
is
Like,
but that was an unconscious bias. Perhaps it was unconscious, or perhaps it was fed in his mind that young people will be better in technology. So that is a kind of unconscious bias, right? Kashmala, can you read this? The manager is?
where this one, ma'am.
Yes, please.
This is an example of age bias, also called ageism. The manager is making an assumption about someone's ability based solely on their age rather than their actual skills or experience.
Very
That's it,
good.
ma'am.
Keep reading.
Okay. Did the manager do wrong? Yes, the manager's assumption is unfair and can lead to discrimination. It may result in missed opportunity for the older employees and reinforce stereotypes. Instead, the manager should what, ma'am?
Instead, the manager should assess each employee's skill.
Yeah, this spelled right.
No,
Each employee's
spelling error.
individually and provide equal opportunities for training and growth.
Yeah, there's a spelling mistake for assess. I apologize for that. Thank you so much, Kashmala. So we know that the manager's assumption is unfair, and it's also reinforcing the stereotype that stereotypes are basically the kind of idea or thought that is fed in our mind from generations to generation. For example, pink is for girls and blue is for boys. I mean, who says that? It's just a stereotype that has been created. And so if an employee, if a manager wants to hire a senior person for not for technology job, other job, and only young people for technology job, naturally he's reinforcing the stereotype. So this was a wrong example for it was not following DEI. Right, there are some case studies and on diversity and inclusion initiative that I have compiled for all of your understanding. Google has long been at the forefront of implementing DE&I initiatives within the tech industry. One noteworthy program is its diversity skill building initiative designed to equip employees with tools to confront bias and promote inclusivity. The program includes workshops, role-playing scenarios, and guided discussions that challenge employees to recognize and overcome their biases. So when you put employees in a a role-playing scenario, naturally there are some things that will be coming out. They will be able to understand, they will be recognizing what are the loopholes, and there will be some points that they will think, okay, I was being biased here, but actually it can work that way. So it's called Diversity Skill Building Initiative by Google. Through their efforts, Google reported a substantial increase in employee engagement scores related to feelings of inclusivity. The company also noted improvement in the recruitment of underrepresented groups, particularly women and minorities in tech roles. By fostering an environment where employees feel safe to share their experiences and perspectives, Google has created a more innovative and collaborative workplace. Like when I'm having my session, I want to have more collaboration, more discussion. I want to put you in different scenarios, different activities, because I need to have a collaborative training session. So similarly, organization and companies, they're doing all kind of these things over here. Now, the next example is case studies on diversity and inclusive. I apologize for the siren at the back. Johnson & Johnson, and what have they done? We're all familiar with Johnson & Johnson companies. Their D&I strategy focus on three core areas: workforce diversity, inclusive workplaces, and community impact. The company actively works to build a workforce that mirrors the diversity of its customer base while creating a culture that values all voices. So it happens that when you walk into a company, there are different kind of culture we face. So sometimes the culture is really warm, sometimes the culture is really rough and crude. So Johnson & Johnson is trying to work on the values. One standout initiative is the Diversity and Inclusion Impact Review, where teams assess their performance through DE&I lens. This review identifies gaps and areas for improvement while holding leaders accountable for progress. As a result, Johnson & Johnson has seen increased representation of women in leadership roles, with female executives now constituting more than 40% of the global leadership team. So why do I bring these examples in front of you? Because I want to tell you that these things are not just in talking terms of books. They're actually happening. The good companies and global companies, they are actually working on that, and this is how they are flourishing, and their global team is increasing in DE&I. Deloitte is a consulting company. Most of you must be knowing about that. So Deloitte's approach to gender equality serves as an exemplary case study in promoting diversity within a traditionally male-dominated field. So consulting, business, all these are considered male-dominating industries, even in Pakistan, which is mostly a male-dominated country, and feel it is really hard for women to flourish and move ahead and do things. When we talk about Deloitte, they have actually worked on this aspect. The firm launched its inclusion strategy aimed at breaking down barriers for women in leadership positions and advocating for gender equality throughout the organization. So if you have seen that, for now, when we come on discussion about global and local, we will feel that Pakistan is still lagging behind. But we have to also admit that Pakistan has also changed. There are so many things that have changed. Now, if you see, women are in many industries. They are also the pilots. They are even the passenger pilot aircraft. They're flying that. Women are doing so many things in the sports. There are so many women team now. So a lot of things have changed in Pakistan, and women are given a lot of opportunity. So we should not neglect this change. We should accept it, and we should hope for the best. So of course, it's not like global international environment, but still women are given a lot of representation now in our country too. A significant element of this strategy is Deloitte's mentorship program, which connects female employees with the senior leadership who can guide them in their career. So just like our universities have career counselors, similarly in Deloitte, the senior people are guiding the women how to, go ahead with their work, and this is called mentorship. As part of this initiative, Deloitte also tracks metrics related to gender representation and pay equity to ensure transparency and accountability. So these companies are actually practicing it, and this is how they are showing us the results. Case study for Starbucks. In response to incidents involving racial profiling at Starbucks stores, it has launched an extensive racial bias training program aimed at all its employees across the United States. This initiative was developed with the help of experts in social justice and is intended to foster a deeper understanding of racial bias, while equipping employees with the skills needed to combat it. So initially, Starbucks was facing this problem, and there was some racial conflict. So their branches in America and United States, they have worked a lot in training, and they have been extensive racial bias training programs in which they have helped, and they have helped them understand that everyone can have the same skill, and the employees with the skills needed, they have done it, they have combated it. The training culminated in a day-long closure of stores nationwide, allowing all baristas and managers to participate without disruption. So when you go to the coffee shop, the people who are making the coffee, they're called baristas. So on that day, when they had to give the training, all the nationwide Starbucks stores were closed because they wanted to tell and they wanted to train all of them together at the same time, and they didn't want any disruption. As part of the initiative's success criteria, Starbucks aims to improve customer interactions and create a welcoming environment for all. Feedback from participants revealed greater awareness around issues of race and bias, leading Starbucks to commit further resources toward ongoing training efforts, as well as partnership with community organization focused on social justice. So they wanted to make sure that every employee is valued, every employee is counted, and everyone gets the same training at the same time. So they had to close all the stores. So you can imagine how much of profit loss they must have faced on that one day, but they didn't care. They were really much focused on the diversity and inclusion. Then we talk about Microsoft. Microsoft stands out as a leader in integrating disability inclusion into its overarching DE&I framework. The company launched its Disability Inclusion Initiative, which focuses on creating accessible technology products while encouraging diverse hiring practices for individuals with disabilities. So you can imagine if I already shared that example earlier. If we have three people, if we have three candidates and they all have different skill set, but there's one who is not who's not able to probably use his legs or hands because that person is disabled. We have to make him or her part of the community. We have to have a bigger talent pool so we can have a broader, stronger talent in our for that particular position. So Microsoft is doing that. They have a campaign called Disability Inclusion Initiative. One key aspect of Microsoft initiative involves using technology itself as an enabler for inclusivity, developing products like Seeing AI and Xbox adaptive controller that caters specifically to individuals with disability. So we all know about Xbox, we know about how AI is being used. And for people who are disabled, Microsoft has introduced this feature where they can actually feel it. Even if you go in the elevators or if you go to the malls in a global environment, you will always find certain guidance for people who are blind, who cannot see. There are certain bulging dots they can touch and they can feel, they can get the direction. So these kind of features are really important, and this is exactly where we are addressing DEI. Microsoft has established relationships with organizations that specialize in disability employment services, allowing them to tap into a broader talent pool while fostering an inclusive work environment that accommodates all employees' needs. So it is important to meet need of everyone. Coca-Cola. And why I bring all these examples from the global market is because we want to bring those. We have to try and understand that these things are actually happening and how these companies have changed over time. Coca-Cola has recognized that embracing diversity goes beyond internal policies. It extends into how they connect with customers around the world. Their multicultural marketing program is designed to engage diverse communities authentically by creating marketing campaigns that resonate culturally. So Coca-Cola has recognized that embracing diversity goes beyond internal policies. So it's not just only policies, but it has also extended on how they can connect with the customers around the world. This initiative includes partnerships with minority-owned media outlets and collaborations with artists from different backgrounds on advertising projects. We have seen that even we have Coke Studios. So it's basically the company having connection with the customers and then using it as an advertising project and in promotion. So there are different ways, and you have seen how diverse Coke Studio is. So, you know, these are some real-time examples, and we should encourage it, and we should appreciate it that so many things are now happening in our country as well. Coca-Cola found that by understanding cultural nonsense and adopting diverse perspectives in their marketing strategies, they not only improve customer relationship, but also enhance brand loyalty among diverse audiences. So things like this make us really in that perspective. Intel is strongly committed to achieving gender diversity, setting an ambiguous goal to reach full gender parity in its workforce by 2030. So they have a target. Intel has a target, they have a goal, they have to meet it by 2030. They need to have a full gender parity. They want to make sure that it's an equal opportunity for men and women in their company. To meet this target, Intel has launched focused initiatives such as targeted recruitment efforts to attract more women into technical roles and specialized training programs designed to support female employees' career growth. So if a female does not have technical skill, she cannot land into that job. So that's exactly what Intel is doing. They have a target by 2030. They have to have a gender parity in its workforce. So how do they do it? They're trying to train their female employees for the skills that they do not have. For example, we were talking about automation last time. So if an employee does not have automated skills, what can they do? If the company does not want to hire new employees because they don't have enough budget, or there can be so many more reasons, what can they do is they can train their own employees. They can enhance their skills by partially contributing themselves, and they can ask employees to pay in installments and be able to do certain certifications or in-house training. So they should be able to run a certain automated tool. So this is how organizations empower their employees. These efforts have led to meaningful progress with a notable increase in the hiring of women in technical positions and the establishment of mentorship programs tailored specifically for women. By prioritizing gender equality with clear measurable goals, Intel not only fosters a more inclusive and supportive workplace culture, but also serves as a leading example for other technology companies addressing underrepresentation in the industry. We were discussing about Lenovo previously, we were discussing about Microsoft. So we had a few more examples from technology sector. Right, so this is the best part of our session today. We have to jump into another Zoom breakout room now. I would like all of you to listen to the instructions carefully here. So this is going to be around 7 minutes of diversity bingo that we're going to be doing, and the instructions will be here. So firstly, we will split into the 2 breakout rooms. Second, you will receive diversity bingo cards in the Zoom chat and in your WhatsApp group. Someone will be sharing the bingo cards. So basically, there will be 2 diversity bingo cards. So we are going to be having 2 snapshots, but inside that 1 bingo card, there will be several descriptors. So I'm going to read out to you again. Participants will mingle virtually using breakout rooms to find colleagues, trainees who match the descriptors on their bingo cards. Now I'm going to show them to you and then you will be able to understand. Keep the diversity bingo cards open during the activity. You will be opening that on your WhatsApp, if not seen on the screen. In your group, take turns as the speaker, following alphabetically. For example, we have Afifa, we have Afsana, and then we have Kashmala. So Afifa will go first, Afsana will go second, and Kashmala will go third. So follow the alphabetical order in your group when it comes to speaking. The first person has to read out the first descriptor on the card, and whoever finds matches with that question can speak up. The speaker reads out a descriptor from the card. Other participants respond if the descriptor matches them. The first person to match is the contributor and can share a brief story if he or she wishes. For example, there's a question, have you traveled outside Pakistan? For example, that's a question. And if you're not ready to answer that, you can just say, I don't want to answer it. Or if you don't have, if you want to answer it, just say yes, and then share your experience. The speaker marks the square if he or she finds a match. If not, they can write a note about the group or individual. Do not repeat a descriptor because we have too many cards inside and I want all of you to read out them all. Rotate in alphabetical order so everyone gets a chance to be the speaker. For your convenience, each descriptor is also numbered. Continue until all have spoken. So I'm going to show you the bingo card now. This is the first one, and you can see it has room 1 written on it. And this is number 2, diversity bingo card 2, and this is 1. So each group will get one of this. Room 1 will get this, room 2 will get this. And I've also, for your convenience, I've also numbered the descriptor. So for example, Afifa is the first person to read in her group. She's going to pick any descriptor she wants. It can be from 1 till 24. It's her choice. She can read any of the descriptor. So the statements that I've written in the boxes, they're also numbered and they are basically the descriptors. So Afifa will read one descriptor, and let's say Kashmala and Moon Rahman, they are in the same group. If they think they are falling in that particular role, or if they have done that, they can just unmute themselves and they can share that, yes, I've done this. And if they want to share any story, they can share, and then unmute yourself, and then the next person will start. So this is how we need to go in alphabetical order. It's not a hard and fast rule. If you don't want to keep in alphabetical order, it's fine because you're not too many. Anyone can choose to speak, but make sure that everyone speaks and asks from each other. And try to read as many descriptors as you can. You might not be able to read all, but we can try. So I think that rules are pretty much clear now. Any questions from until now? I will bring the slide with you again so you can see.
Yes, ma'am.
Any question?
Ma'am, we have to talk with each other, right? That's it?
Yes. And in the same way in the Zoom breakout rooms. And
in the given time, right?
8 minutes, 7 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, you have enough time because there are too many, and we want more participation because this is really a diversity event, and I want you to collaborate and try and share your views and your insights. So Mansoor will visit the room if he wants, and I will also come and monitor how the discussion is going, and then we will come together and we'll discuss it further. So any question until now for the instructions? Okay, good. I think Sir Mansoor, they're ready to go.
So please join your respective room. Afsana, please join room number 2. You have been invited to join that room. Okay, I think all participants have been in the main room.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Can you see my slides? Can you see the slide? Please give me a thumbs up.
No, it's still rotating.
Okay.
Okay, now we can see.
I will try again. Can you see now?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
visible
ma'am.
right now.
Okay, good. Okay, right. So how was the experience? I hope it was a good one. And this time we don't have any group leader, so anyone can come forward and discuss. So let's start with Zanera. Would you like to start? How was the experience, and how many descriptors were you able to discuss, and what was the input and feedback? Did you get any response, or was everybody quiet?
No, everybody active.
That's
और
good.
मजा आया ये वाला पॉइंट डिस्कस करके, हर कोई अपना अपना एक्सपीरियंस बता रहा था। आपने अल्फाबेटिकली कहा था, जो पॉइंट चूज किया वो भी डिस्कस करना है अभी, ये जस्ट अभी बताना कि एक्टिविटी कैसी रही?
No, you don't have to discuss each and everything. If you want, you can discuss any one example. Otherwise, you can give me your general feedback.
नो मैम, इट वाज क्वाइट गुड। और डिफरेंट जब पॉइंट आप डाइवर्सिटी का पर्पस यही था कि डिफरेंट डिफरेंट पॉइंट आप अपना चूज करेंगे तो आपको दूसरों की स्टोरी पता चलेगी, तो
Exactly.
इट इज गुड।
Right. Good. Yes, Afsana, would you like to give your feedback? Thank you so much, Zanera.
वेलकम।
Yes, Afsana.
जी मैम, मैं एक्चुअली लास्ट में गई थी क्योंकि मेरा उसमें ना वो नेट का कनेक्शन जो है ना वो इशू आ रहा था इसमें। तो
Okay.
इट वाज मतलब अच्छा था ओवरऑल, लेकिन ये कि बहुत कम मैंने अटेंड किए इसको ना।
Okay. But you got the idea what was it about and why we doing it, and you experienced it a bit. So at least you had
ये
the flavor.
वही मैम, ये डाइवर्सिटी, इक्विटी और इस तरह के उसमें था ओवरऑल जो है ना इसका मेन जो था थीम, तो इक्विटी और उस पे ही था डाइवर्सिटी के अनबाइस
Right.
होना है इसमें। हाँ, इस तरह का।
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much, Afsana. Yes, Kashmala,
मोस्ट वेलकम मैम।
your feedback.
It was good, but time was short. I
Time was
wanted,
short.
I
Although
just
we
wanted
we
to
still
learn
gave you
more.
7-8 minutes. It's a lot of time, but I understand because the descriptors were so many, and but still you got the idea of it. So what did you learn from that, Kashmala?
Well, ma'am, there's a point like someone who gets nervous to meet new people. So I have social anxiety. तो थोड़ा सा ये हो गया, थोड़ा सा मेरा कम हो गया, you know,
That's very
after
good.
this. Yes.
Okay. So see, now we got to know each other through the discussion, and now we know how diverse and how different we all are. Although we are all from the same country, but we're so diverse that there are so many different things that we are falling into it. Yes, next, Afifa, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
How was your experience? Any feedback?
Ma'am, it was very good and very interactive. और मुझे अच्छा ये लगा कि हम लोगों ने एक पॉइंट पे डिबेट की और थोड़े से डिफरेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यूज मिले। पॉइंट नंबर 5,
Sorry. Yeah, keep going.
वो मेरे सामने से चला गया, एक मिनट, लेट मी। ओके, पॉइंट नंबर 10, समवन हु सपोर्ट्स वुमेन लीडरशिप। इस पे हम लोगों ने थोड़ा सा एक दूसरे के साथ डिस्कशन की, तो इससे हम लोगों की डिस्कशन अच्छी रही। तो आई थिंक ये अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस था कि हम लोगों को पता चला कि हम लोगों ने हर जगह पे रहने वालों का सोच एक दूसरे से नहीं मिलती, ऑब्वियसली सबके पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू लगते हैं, तो दैट्स वेरी गुड।
That's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it and you got some insight about it. Yes, Moon Rahman, are you there?
Yes, I am. Yes, it's such a nice rapport building tool, or know each other and chit chat अच्छी रही, or everyone was saying time is too short, so we need to ask multiple questions, and everyone's their experiences. So it was such a nice rapport building tool. Amazing.
That's great. That's great. Yes, anyone else would like to contribute, like give a feedback about the activity? Okay,
Sorry,
good.
ma'am, I couldn't understand what did you say?
Yeah, I said anyone else who wants to share the feedback about the activity? So they can feel free to unmute and discuss. Okay, great. So
मैम
yes, please, Sana.
मैम मैं लिटरली सो गई थी जब मैं ये क्लास ले रही थी बिकॉज आई वाज वेरी टायर्ड। लेकिन जब ये सेशन स्टार्ट हुआ लाइक ये एक्टिविटी स्टार्ट हुई है तो मैं इन लोगों को ये कह रही थी कि अब मैं थोड़ी सी जागी हूँ इस चीज को मतलब लाइक एक एक्टिविटी आ गई है तो उसमें हम एक दूसरे से कम्युनिकेट कर रहे थे एक दूसरे से अपने पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू शेयर कर रहे थे डिफरेंट क्वेश्चन आस्क कर रहे थे तो उसकी वजह से मैं थोड़ा सा एक्टिव हो गई हूँ तो
That's good. That's good.
दिस थिंग
So for Sana, we know that in order for us to make Sana do something, we have to keep it very interactive with her.
यस मैम
Okay, that's good. That is why my trainings are mostly collaborative, and I gave you 2 scenarios. I asked you to write some points. You know, I'm constantly keeping you busy. Yes, there are some points where I need to read out and explain that in the words as it comes by, for which sometimes it gets a bit boring, but it is important for us to understand those terminology as well. Yes, Fari, someone raised hand.
मैम अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैम
Yes,
फसीहा इज
Fasiha.
हियर मैम
Yes,
मुझे
Fasiha,
आपसे
how are
क्वेश्चन
you?
करना था डाइवर्सिटी से रिलेटेड
Yes, please.
मैम कुछ टाइम पहले मेरी यूके में जॉब हुई थी और मैं वहाँ पे गई तो वहाँ पे अब मुझे नहीं पता इसलिए प्रॉपर वर्ड क्या यूज होता है कि ब्लैक पीपल भी थे और वाइट भी थे तो सबसे पहले तो ये कि मैंने बहुत नर्वस फील किया मेरे पास स्किल्स भी थी मैं अच्छा परफॉर्म भी कर सकती थी लेकिन मैं बहुत नर्वस फील करती थी उन लोगों के सामने मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि शायद आई कांट परफॉर्म आई डोंट हैव दैट एबिलिटी जितनी वो है जितना मतलब मुझ में है बट मैं परफॉर्म नहीं कर पा रही थी तो लेकिन फिर कुछ इश्यूज फैमिली में हुए मुझे वापस आना पड़ा अब मुझे दोबारा अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह जॉब मिली है लेकिन स्टिल आई एम फीलिंग दैट और मुझे कुछ में हाइजीनिक थोड़ा सा इशू भी लगा एज वी आर मुस्लिम तो हमारा थोड़ा सा है आप अंडरस्टैंड कर सकती हैं और पाकिस्तानी वाला सीन है तो वो अभी मैं बहुत नर्वस हूँ तो इससे रिलेटेड काइंडली आप मुझे गाइड कर दें कि इन चीज़ों को किस तरीके से हैंडल किया जा सकता है
Okay, it's very brave of you that you brought up this question, Fasiha. First of all, good luck to you for that. In that scenario, all you need to do is it's just about confidence. You should look at the people who are below you. Look at the people who are less fortunate than you. If you look at them, if you think about them, you will know that how much you have been blessed to get this opportunity. First of all, think like this. And then you will naturally get motivated and you will have that confidence to do things. Secondly, in countries like these, they have a lot of ethics and they give value to all diverse nationalities and they don't have this thing of I mean, it is true that racism exists. It does exist in many parts of the world, but we also know that the laws and policies are very strict in these countries. So first of all, you need to you have to raise the bar of your confidence yourself. That is your own battle that you have to fight. Because you already got the job and that means you have the skill set, that's why you got it. So there is no question about this that you cannot do it. First of all, stop thinking that you cannot do it. Of course you can do it. You have been given that opportunity and nature has brought you in that position. Secondly, to build your confidence, try to look into, try to watch some motivational videos, and there are so many motivational videos. You can listen to some TED Talks, and you can also try and gain more knowledge about your field, whatever work you're going. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to discuss that because I think it's too personal. Whatever job and field you'll be going at, try to have more study and more reading about that so that when you're there, you should be more confident about it. And if someone else is trying to talk to you, you should be able to answer them back for any certain work that they're talking. So it's just the battle is inside yourself. You need to fight it and you need to build that confidence. And you can do that through different activities. Try to have a very healthy routine. Try to involve some yoga, some activities in your life that gives you that energy. Another thing that discourages us to think positive and have good imagination is the screen time these days. If you're having a lot of screen time, you need to reduce that because there are certain chemicals that are released in our brain when you're doing some physical exercises, and when you do that, you tend to think better, you tend to imagine better. And today I was listening to one of the research that if because of a lot of screen time these days, the blinking of our eye has reduced, and the lesser we blink our eye, the lesser our visual intelligence and our understanding about things that need intelligence is reducing. So try even when you're watching screen and you're doing something that is involving screen, you need to constantly blink your eye so you can constantly evaluate your visual intelligence. Yes, sir, Mansoor. I hope I answered your question. Yes, sir, Mansoor.
थैंक यू वेरी मच फसीहा। जिस चैलेंज को आप बता रही हैं ना, डिस्कस कर रही हैं, मैं भी थोड़ी सी चीज़ें शेयर करना चाहूँगा कि हमारे पास बहुत से लोग आते हैं जिनको कल्चरल शॉक लगता है। ऐसे किसी इन्वायरमेंट में जाते हैं ना, हम एक बिल्कुल डिफरेंट इन्वायरमेंट से एक अलग इन्वायरमेंट में जाते हैं। तो हम आज का जो टॉपिक भी हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, डाइवर्सिटी, इक्विटी एंड इंक्लूजन ना, तो इसका ये पार्ट है कि हर तरह के लोगों को हमने रिस्पेक्ट देनी है और उनको एक्सेप्ट करना है और उनको वेटेज देनी पड़ेगी ना, क्योंकि आप एक कंप्लीट पैकेज के साथ वहाँ जाएंगे। तो जो चीज़ें आपको ना पसंद आ रही हैं, डिसलाइकिंग है, उनको भी आपको एक्सेप्ट करना है ना, ठीक है, उनकी सोसाइटी में रहते हुए। तो वहां पे फिर आपने खुद को, अब तो डाइवर्सिटी इंक्लूजन हमने बहुत सारे सेशन अटेंड किए हैं। पाकिस्तान में तो एलजीबीटी का अभी डिस्कशन नहीं आ रही ना। ग्लोबली जब बात करते हैं तो उनको भी हम इंक्लूड करने के चक्कर में रहते हैं ना। जो ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव में जब बात करें तो कहते हैं कि हम उनको भी इंक्लूड करें या उनको भी रिस्पेक्ट दें, जो कुछ भी है ना, ठीक है। तो इसको आपको थोड़ा सा एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा और इस कंसेप्ट के साथ जाना पड़ेगा। जब भी आप पाकिस्तान के या हमारे अपने जो सिनेरियो है इससे निकल के किसी दूसरे सिनेरियो में जाएंगे ना, तो इस तरह के केसेस हमारे पास, पर्टिकुलरली जब हम अफगान रेफ्यूजीज बहुत सारे हमारे पास आए, उनको हमने ट्रेन किया, उनका उनका बड़ा चैलेंज होता था ये वाला ना, कि बहुत से लोग थे जिन्होंने जर्मनी में जाना था या किसी और कंट्री में जाना था, यूरोपियन कंट्री में, जहाँ पे उनकी एक्सेप्टेंस भी हो चुकी थी, लेकिन हमारे पास ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने, यूएनएचसीआर ने भेजा कि आप इन लोगों को ट्रेन करें ताकि ये कल्चरली वहाँ पे जाके अकोमोडेट हो सकें या एडजस्ट हो सकें। थैंक यू आसिफ।
Thank you so much, Mansoor. That's true. You need to be flexible and adapt yourself to the environment. That's a very valid point by Sir Mansoor. So I will be jumping into our presentation. But before that, I want to show you a short video that is also talking about diversity and putting people into the boxes. After we finish watching the video, I want all of you to look into the video and understand it, that how people are considered differently and how they are same. Diversity is also different, but it's also in a way similar. So watch this video as I share, and after that, I will see if you have anything to share with me. Yeah, can you see the screen? Please give me a thumbs up. Okay, good, thank you.
So easy to place people in boxes, drawing lines, creating signs. There's us, and there's them. Those we feel comfortable around, and those we don't. There are those of us with many chapters, and those just starting their own stories. There's the well-to-do, and those doing what they can. There are those we share something with, and those we don't seem to share anything with.
Welcome, and thank you for coming today, guys. Today, I'm going to be conducting an experiment where I'll ask you a series of questions. Now, these questions will be very personal questions, and for us to get a true result, I need you to be completely honest with how you respond. The first question I have is, who in here was the class clown? Is never on time.
Then there's us. We who have tattoos, We who feel lonely. We who have been bullied. We who have bullied others. We who are madly in love. We who have overcome great adversity. There's the lucky ones whose team won the championship this year. We who beat cancer. There's all of us who are created in the image of God. And as one body, we stand together.
Okay, so I want to see, I want to get feedback from any one of you would like to share. What did you learn from this video? So what do we understand from this about diversity? That we are all having our own uniqueness, and we've all faced certain things, somewhat related to the question that was floated a while ago. And it is not easy at many moments. Yes, it's true. We're all having somehow same things, but at the same time, we are all different and we have faced different things. And there are people who have bullied others. There are people who have been bullied. There are people who are class clowns. So, although we put them in small different boxes, but when you ask them certain questions, they're basically coming out from different boxes. So this is how diverse the whole world is. But at the end of the day, we are all Allah's creation, and we should realize and thank this thing. So this was a perspective I really wanted to bring this, how we put people in the boxes and the kind of fear that we have, we are black, we are dark, we are boy and girl, and all kind of fears that we have in our mind. These kind of things are there all around the world. And a lot of people are facing this challenge, but it is our mindset that needs to be changed. And when we are talking about DEI, we have to understand how this thing is being addressed globally. In the end, I would like to share the United Nations perspective about DEI. Any question or any feedback about the video that we just saw from anyone? Okay, good. So DEI is grounded in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, emphasizing the elimination of discrimination and the promotion of equality for all individuals, including marginalized groups such as women and persons with disabilities. So United Nations has been working really hard on all these factors that we have already discussed previously, and what is their stance about this. It is important we understand that, because these are the SDGs further that we're going to be discussing, the global SDGs, essential for tracking inequality and promoting social cohesion. The United Nations highlights that inequality threatens social and economic development. Now, they are trying to talk about the economic development. So if we are not having equal and equality done in an organization, it's going to threaten the social and economic development. It harms poverty reduction efforts and undermines social cohesion. Promoting DEI helps address these challenges by ensuring fair access to opportunities and outcomes. So the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, what is the integral on achieving these? The UN Disability Inclusion Strategy and other DEI initiatives support the implementation of international human rights instruments and the SDGs, aiming for inclusive participation and empowerment of all, especially vulnerable population people. Like we can see there are so many atrocities happening in the world, and there are refugees, and there was issue with Ukraine earlier. So, all these kind of things, there are different platforms where rights are given to them, and it is important for us when we are talking about DEI, how these things are actually implemented. A commitment to inclusive workplaces and fair employment practices. United Nations system organizations strive to uphold merit-based hiring and equal rights, while actively addressing systematic racism, inclusion, and marginalization within their workforce to foster dignity, respect, and belonging. A strategic priority for global peace, development, and justice. The UN Secretary General emphasizes that inclusion, empowerment, and equality must be central to global efforts, linking DEI to human rights, diplomacy, conflict prevention, and sustainable development. So these are this is the crux of the whole idea that United Nations is doing right now. And the UN sees DEI not just as organizational value, but as critical pillars for building fair, just, and resilient societies. By embedding DEI principles in policies, programs, and workplace culture, the UN aims to eliminate discrimination, empower marginalized groups, and ensure no one is left behind in global development. So it is also their responsibility and role that they have to make sure that no one is left behind in the global development. So these are some SDG, not some, but actually the SDGs of United Nations. They have been given certain color scheming, and there is a certain percentage that is given in the SDG. It's called SDG cake, and the factors which are highly important for the global economy, that is weather, environment, water, poverty. They have given high importance to that, and they have given much more space to that. So the first one is no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality. All these ones we are mostly familiar with them. So this is the SDG cake that is shown this way. Most of the major part of the SDG cake is coming in environment. That includes water, the global warming, the weather, all the concerns that are related to our global warming and our planet. They have given high importance to that, and that is why they have given the specific color scheming to it and the name to it. Now, then we have society and economy. If you go back and you look into these, you will see how that SDG cake has been segregated and divided. Take a look into this. I have already jotted it down for you. So we can see that 14, 13, 6, and 15, they are of high importance for United Nations. Why? Because it's talking about environment, it is talking about water, it's talking about underwater world, and it is talking about the global warming that is taking place in our planet. And then we have society that includes poverty. It's given first priority over there. And we have a lot of other aspects that we can consider. So this is the SDG cake that United Nations is basically following, and we all know about the SDG goals. Here, I would like to conclude my presentation with this saying, which I really liked it. Anyone would like to volunteer and read this quote, please? Yes, yes, Moon Rahman.
Diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance. And equity is making sure everyone has the right shoes.
Yeah. So now I think you will understand this is the crux. This is the whole summary and crux of our presentation today. I have basically changed the quote a little bit. Like it was basically a diversity advocate and author, Verna Myers, but I adapted it from her by adding the last part that equity is when you're making sure everyone has the right shoes to dance, and diversity is being that everybody gets the invitation. So if any one of you has not understood this quote, please ask now. It's really interesting how this, if you read into this quote, you will know the whole meaning of DEI, what it means. Yes, Kashmala, what do you have to say about this quote? Did you understand?
I want to say something about you, ma'am. Can I say?
About me? No,
Yeah.
no. It has to be about the topic. Please. Or you want to ask anything about the work and field, you can go ahead with that. Maybe for the
Okay,
training
maybe
feedback, you
later.
can, yeah, later you can. So Kashmala, what do you think about this quote? Did you understand it?
It's good, but I don't know what to say.
Okay, so basically, because you're new to this field, I want you to understand it. When we are talking about DEI, we're not only talking about inviting everyone to certain thing. We're also making sure that they are asked to do the tasks when they come to that certain event. And the last thing that we need to do is we need to make sure they have the right tools. For example, they're asked to come and operate on a computer and do something. They need to make sure that the company has to make sure they have the right tools, they have the computer, they have internet connection, the right tools. So it's the company's role to make sure that everyone is part of a certain event or activity, but at the same time, it is also their job to give them the right tools. So this quote is very interesting. Diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance, and equity is making sure everyone has the right shoes. And if you notice, I have written thank you in not, I didn't write it. Of course, I took this from internet, but I wanted to display it this way. My thank for all of you in different languages, because this is a diversity event. I want to keep it diverse. That's why I wanted to keep it this way. So that's all from my side. If you have any question, please free to ask. And I would appreciate any feedback about what you learned today and anything that you want to add to your learning. We have 7 minutes until we end.
Ma'am, I want to say.
Yes, Kashmala, please go ahead.
Thank you for today's lecture, first of all, because when I started, I started with a blank mind. But now I have learned a lot and understand topic much better. And I really appreciate your effort and making it so clear. Thank you so much.
No, you're most welcome, Kashmala. That makes me feel that I'm doing my job in the right way and that I have been able to deliver you something. I'm also happy that you came up with a blank mind and then you were able to take out something. So the key takeaways that I read in the beginning, I feel accomplished that, okay, we are somehow done with that. What about you, Fasiha? Were you able to grasp something? We don't have to understand 100% everything from today's session. It's all right because we are all learning. Even if you understand and you take 5 to 10% of it, that should be sufficient because we're all trying to learn. This is quite a new topic for us, especially in Pakistan. Yes, Fasiha, would you like to give any feedback about the session and about the topic?
Yes, ma'am, this was very interesting topic और बहुत लर्न किया है इससे डिफरेंट एंगल से इसको देखा एक्टिविटीज बहुत इंगेजिंग की और अंडरस्टैंड किया और इंगेज भी रहे तो वर्थफुल था मेरे लिए
That's
Thank you,
great.
ma'am.
Yes, you're most welcome. Thank you. If there's no other question and no other feedback, I would like to give my feedback about your assignments that I received from last session. I don't know if you were able to meet the deadline that was given for it, but keeping that aside, I would really like to appreciate Rukhsar and Sana for the presentations that you both have shared. Hira, just a moment, I will come back to you in a while. Rukhsar's presentation was very impressive, and the way she explained everything, it was marvelously explained. She was able to explain about, I think it was a recruitment process. I've taken my notes, how the process was done manually and how it was automated. And then Sana also came up with a very good presentation. It was also about recruitment. Excellent work. Subhan also we didn't have Subhan today in our participants. I think we don't have him today. So Subhan also sent the presentation assignment, and that his points were also good. They were valid. There was no flow chart. They were in bullets, but it was well explained. And Fasiha, I also received Fasiha's assignment. From her presentation, I understood that she had good understanding about the question. She was able to tell what is manually done, and then it was automated. And I think it was about the leave management, Fasiha, if I'm not wrong. So good job, Fasiha, Rukhsar, Sana, and Subhan. Very good. Thank you for your assignments. And yes, Hira, your question, please. We have 3-4 minutes left.
Actually, I don't want to ask a question. I just want to share something about my organization. We don't create biases. We also talk about diversity and inclusion, but at times we are let me give you an example.
Yeah.
We have when we review the resumes, because we are a Sharia compliant company, and when we review resumes, so just give me a second.
Sure.
मैम मैंने बस आपको थैंक्स बोलना है ताकि इससे पहले वो आ जाए हीरा। थैंक यू सो मच, आज आपने बहुत अच्छा एक्सप्लेन किया। मैंने अभी तक अपनी बेटी को, जो कि ना 11 मंथ ओल्ड है, तो मैंने बहुत मुश्किल से अभी मैनेज किया हुआ था। अब वो बहुत मुझे इरिटेट कर रही है, तो
Thank you
मैंने
so
कहा
much for making it the time, Zanera. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it that you are here along with such a small baby. And good luck to everyone with whatever they are doing.
और मैम असाइनमेंट मेरी रह गई है, वो मैं इंशाल्लाह जल्द आपको ना भेज दूंगी।
It's for your learning, Zanera. If you don't want to do it, it's fine. It's not mandatory, but it was for your learning. If you do it, it will help you. So it's good if you can do it.
ओके मैम, मुझे इंशाल्लाह टाइम मिलेगा तो मैं जरूर आपको सेंड कर दूंगी। थैंक यू।
Sure, you're most welcome. Allah Hafiz. Thank you.
Okay.
I think Hira
Shall I
has
continue?
Yeah, Hira, are you here?
Yeah. Okay. As I was saying that in our company, it's our code of conduct. Like the females has to wear abaya and scarf. So it's our dress code policy. So if we review some resumes, if there are pictures of females who are not covering their heads and they're you can say there are some modern types of pictures, so we reject the resume. But you can understand that it's not a bias, it's our code of conduct, it's our policy, it's our dress code policy. So we cannot proceed. If we proceed with the resume and then shortlist with initial screening, and then the candidate rejects that she don't want to wear the abaya, so all the process takes a lot of time. So I think at times such biases are companies' policies. Company don't want to do that, but their policies make them do that.
Yeah, they are bound to follow it. That's true. That's a very good point. Yeah. Very well said. Thank you so much for sharing that. In that case, what the company can do, because I was discussing about a larger talent pool, you might be losing out good candidates. So in order for you to save some save effort, time, and money for recruitment, what you can do is you can have a quick telephonic screening on the phone and tell them right there and then that this is the code of conduct. Are you willing to do this? If you are, then we will proceed with further screening. If they don't agree, and the process will end. If they agree, then you will have probably a good candidate for that profile. So this is just a suggestion. Yes, Moon Rahman, you have a question?
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was such a wonderful session. और एक डाइवर्सिटी, इंक्लूजन एंड इक्वलिटी की हम बहुत ज़्यादा बात करते हैं, लेकिन इतनी डिटेल अंडरस्टैंडिंग कभी नहीं रही थी जितना, इसलिए मैंने कभी काम नहीं किया था इस पर डायरेक्टली। तो आज बहुत अच्छी ज़्यादा लर्निंग रही, और आई मेक श्योर कि हम अपनी डेली वर्क के नज़रिए से इसको बेहतर तरीके से मजीद इम्प्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश करें। राइट, एंड आपने बिल्कुल इंसाफ किया, आज बहुत अच्छा एक्सप्लेन किया। Thank you
so much. I think it got a bit boring in between because there were so many technical terminology that I had to read it out for you. Maybe we can have a bit more activity next time. We still had 4 activities. I think that should also be sufficient, but because one of you said that she slept. So I felt really discouraged that, okay, maybe my session was getting boring. So
I thought she
yeah,
was
that was
tired.
Sana
Today
probably.
was her first day. Second day is in office. That's why she was tired. She
Yeah.
was not tired because of you.
So
Your presentation was what engaging, and
okay.
thank you so much for that.
For Sana, we need to have more engaging activity. Yes, Sana, you want to say something?
यस मैम, आपकी बात पे अभी मैंने जो है ना वो मून ने मेरे हिस्से का बोल दिया वैसे, बिकॉज आई टोल्ड हिम कि आई वाज लिटिल स्लीपी बिकॉज इट वाज मतलब आज मेरा सेकंड डे था ऑफिस में, और मेरे बैक टू बैक इंटरव्यूज थे, मुझे कुछ इंटरव्यूज
Okay.
इंटर्नशिप के लिए अलाइन करने थे, एंड देन वो कॉल्स का प्रोसेस, पहले मैंने उनको कॉल्स किया और देन फिर उनके ऑनलाइन इंटरव्यूज करवाने थे सीईओ के साथ। तो मैं सीईओ को बेसिकली असिस्ट भी कर रही हूँ वहाँ पे। तो उन्होंने मुझे
Very
ये टास्क
nice.
दिया हुआ था फॉर टुडे कि आज ये काम करना ही करना है हर हाल में ना, क्योंकि उनको
Very
हमने कल
good.
ऑन साइट इंटरव्यू के लिए बुलाना था। तो इनिशियल
Good
स्क्रीनिंग
luck
मुझे
with
करनी
that.
थी,
Good luck with
और
that.
देन उनके
Sana.
बाद उनके हमारे कुछ टेक्निकल इशू आ गए थे, तो हम गूगल मीट पे वो इंटरव्यू नहीं कर सके, तो वो हमें फिर व्हाट्सएप के थ्रू करने पड़े। तो वो इस वजह से मैं बहुत ज़्यादा ही वो मेरे लिए हेक्टिक हो गया था कि मुझे उस कॉल की ड्यूरेशन में भी रहना था, एंड देन वो सारी कोडिंग एंड समथिंग रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन थी, तो दैट वाज too boring
That's
for
all
me.
right. Completely understand. Thank you for sharing, Sana, and good luck with all your efforts. And thank you everyone for making up the time. We're already crossed our time, but Afifa has a question. Yes, Afifa?
मैम मुझे एक चीज और आपसे पूछनी
नो
थी।
मैम, क्वेश्चन नहीं है, सॉरी।
Uh, yes, Afifa? Please go ahead.
मैम ये क्वेश्चन नहीं था। आई जस्ट वांट टू थैंक यू सो मच, क्योंकि आपका प्रीवियस लेक्चर भी इट वाज वेरी गुड, और ये वाला भी बहुत अच्छा था, एक्टिविटी बेस्ड था, तो लर्निंग बहुत ज्यादा अच्छी तरीके से हो रही थी। क्योंकि अगर
great.
कंटिन्यूसली सुनना पड़ता है तो फिर समझ नहीं आ रही होती, ऊपर से गुजरना होता है, लेकिन जब आप एंगेज रखती हैं तो दैट इज वेरी गुड, वो उससे बहुत अच्छी लर्निंग होती है। और थैंक यू सो मच, जज़ाकल्लाह।
Thank you so much for your feedback, Afifa. Thank you everyone for making up the time. I think, Sir Mansoor, do you have to say anything? We have to
Okay,
conclude our
I think
session.
Sana wanted to say something. तो
Okay.
मेरे साथ कंप्लीट करने दें, उसके बाद
Yes.
कंक्लूड करते
Sorry.
हैं।
Yes, Sana, please go ahead.
मैम एक्चुअली में मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था आपसे, मुझे कार्बन क्रेडिट्स के बारे में कुछ जो है ना मतलब मटेरियल मैं रिसर्च करना चाहती थी, लाइक पढ़ना चाह रही थी, बिकॉज जिस कंपनी में मैंने अभी स्टार्ट की जॉब, तो वो समहाउ इस प्रोजेक्ट में इन्वॉल्व है, तो अभी मैं इसको अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कर पा रही, तो आप कुछ गाइड कर सकती हैं मुझे कि मैं इसको कहाँ पे, मतलब लाइक मैं इसके बारे में सर्च आउट कहाँ पे कर सकती हूँ, इसके बारे में पढ़ सकती हूँ, इसको इन डेप्थ समझ सकूँ।
You said carbon chemicals?
Carbon credits, tokenization of carbon credits.
Sir Mansoor, can you help her with that?
एक तो ये इसमें पंजाब गवर्नमेंट की भी कुछ पॉलिसी चल रही है कार्बन क्रेडिट के हवाले से ना।
Okay.
सर
जी जी, वो कर रहे हैं कि जैसे
सर टू बी
एक
वेरी ऑनेस्ट, अभी तक जितना मुझे समझ आया कंपनी में रह के कि हमारी कंट्री में इसकी चीज के ऊपर काम थोड़ा कम हो रहा है, बट इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे इस पे ज्यादा काम हो रहा है। दे आर डूइंग सम प्रोजेक्ट्स इवन इन इंडिया एंड इन अदर कंट्रीज, दे आर डूइंग अ
यस।
लॉट ऑफ वर्क ऑन दिस थिंग। तो
अच्छा मुझे आप बताएं, आप कौन से सिटी से हैं सना?
सर मैं रावलपिंडी से हूँ।
अच्छा, रावलपिंडी से, ग्रेट। अच्छा, इस वक्त ना ये इनिशिएटिव ग्लोबली चल रहा है कार्बन क्रेडिट ना, आप कोई भी अपना
एग्जैक्टली
कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं ना, कि पोल्यूशन को कम करने के लिए, एनवायरनमेंट को क्लीन करने के लिए कोई भी आपका इनिशिएटिव होता है, जैसे प्लास्टिक एक बड़ा हैजर्ड है हमारे एनवायरनमेंट के लिए ना, इसको
एग्जैक्टली जैसे
रिड्यूस करने के
पेपरलेस
लिए।
इन्वायरमेंट के लिए हम लोग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में करते हैं कि पेपरलेस
जी
इन्वायरमेंट होनी चाहिए, पेपर्स कम से कम यूज होना चाहिए।
बिल्कुल ना। तो उसमें डिफरेंट गवर्नमेंट्स या डिफरेंट सोसाइटीज हैं, वो ना आपको क्या कहती हैं कि आप जब कोई भी ऐसा इनिशिएटिव लेते हो तो उन्होंने डिफरेंट पैरामीटर सेट किए होते हैं। अब पंजाब में उन्होंने एक पैरामीटर ये सेट किया, लाहौर की बात कर रहा हूँ, लाहौर में ना,
जी जी
लाहौर में
जी जी
उन्होंने क्या, पेट बॉटल्स हैं 1.5 लीटर की, 1.5 लीटर नहीं होती जो पेप्सी कोक वगैरह, ठीक है,
एग्जैक्टली
वो आप 20 एक मशीन लगाई है कुछ जगहों पे ना उन्होंने, ट्रायल बेसिस पे। आप 20 बॉटल्स वहाँ पे सबमिट कराएंगे ना, मशीन में एंटर कराएंगे, तो आपको 1,000 रुपीज एक कार्बन क्रेडिट मिलेगा, डेट इज इक्वलेंट टू 1,000 पाकिस्तानी रुपीज ना, इस तरह। उस वो जो
ओके
प्लास्टिक की बोतल जमा करेंगे ना, उससे वो बनाएंगे, ब्रिक्स बनाएंगे, ठीक है। और इस तरह से
ओके
शायद आपको लाहौर में एक और जगह भी है जहाँ पे उन्होंने बहुत सारा, वो लाहौर की डंपिंग डिपो है, जितना भी कचरा वगैरह होता है वहाँ जमा होता है। इस तरह डिफरेंट
ओके
इनिशिएटिव अगर आप वो करते हैं एनवायरनमेंट के लिए ना, प्लांटेशन करते हैं, ठीक है।
एग्जैक्टली
और
लाइक हमने एक ट्री लगा दिया तो अब वो भी कार्बन क्रेडिट में
जी
एड
जी,
अप हो
उसके
जाएगा,
कार्बन
लाइक हमने एक
क्रेडिट
ट्री
आपको,
प्लांट कर दिया। एग्जैक्टली चले, मुझे अब ये ओवरव्यू थोड़ा सा क्लियर हो गया है। लाइक मैं
जी
इस
जी।
चीज को जिस पॉइंट से लेना चाह रही थी कि मुझे एक मतलब देखिए इसके बारे में एक पिक्चर माइंड में क्रिएट हो जाए कि हम क्या काम कर रहे हैं एग्जैक्टली।
अच्छा, कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर का इसके साथ लिंकअप इस तरह बनता है ना, कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर में जो कि एचआर वालों के पास एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आती है, कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ना, ठीक
जी
है।
जी
सीएसआर जब आप करते हैं, ईएसजी
CSR,
की जो बात हुई थी ना, तो उसमें भी
जी
फिर आप लोग डिफरेंट इनिशिएटिव लेते हैं, प्लांटेशन करते हैं, अर्बन फॉरेस्टिंग करते हैं, या और कोई इस तरह की चीजें करते हैं ना, तो जिसमें
सही
एनवायरनमेंट क्लीन होता है, तो वहाँ पे भी फिर आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को भी कार्बन क्रेडिट डिलीवर हो सकते हैं ना, तो इंडिविजुअल
सही
को भी। ठीक है।
सही सही सही। थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू सो
थैंक यू
मच फॉर।
थैंक यू थैंक यू।
it's the same here as well. If you give plastic bottles, you get certain cents in euros in return, and Europe is also very strict on these things. So yes, Sir Mansoor has already shared about CSR, plantation, and all that. So I think we are done with our session. We don't have
थैंक यू मैम,
probably.
थैंक यू सो मच,
You're
थैंक
most
यू फॉर
welcome. Thank
एवरीथिंग
you so much,
एंड थैंक यू
everyone, for
फॉर अ
coming.
इंफॉर्मेटिव सेशन।
And good
थैंक यू।
luck with learning and growing. Allah Hafiz.
टेक केयर। मैं आप लोगों के साथ ये लर्निंग मटेरियल भी शेयर कर दूंगा और थोड़ी देर में, और उसके बाद अलावा जो रिकॉर्डिंग है वो भी आपको कल के दिन में शेयर कर दी जाएगी प्रोसेस के बाद में, ठीक है जी। थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू आसिया, आपका आपने बड़ा इंटरेक्टिव सेशन करवाया हमेशा की तरह, और
Thank
पब्लिक
you so
डिमांड
much.
पे हमेशा लोगों ने भी पसंद किया, आपने लोगों को एंगेज रखा, और सब लोगों का शुक्रिया, थैंक यू वेरी मच। फिर दोबारा मुलाकात होती है नेक्स्ट सेशन। टेक केयर।
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
अल्लाह हाफिज।